1986 should prevail as a trying test for the Hawkeyes, having lost 13 starters, including 3 All-Americans in Long, Harmon, and Station. But just one victory away from becoming Iowa's all-time winningest head coach, Hayden Fry, now in his 8th year, says, "I won't be rebuilding, just reloading." Now, after 19 years of non-winning football teams, Fry has rejuvenated the Iowa football program, finishing 3 years in a row in the top 20 and joining the ranks of college football's elite. Right down the road, cross-state rival Iowa State rolls into town, looking to avenge last year's 57-3 shellacking. Senior quarterback Alex Espinosa heads a list of 18 returning starters, so experience is not a problem. Espinosa, by season's end, could wind up as Iowa State's all-time career passing leader. With bragging rights at stake, Iowa will be gunning for much more as the title defense starts right here. Both bands are here. There are fans from both schools galore present here at Kinnick Stadium. The mascots are ready. The fans are ready. And here come the Cyclones of Iowa State. There you see the record of a year ago. They're coached by Jim Kreiner.
And I think they're ready. We saw them last night. They got their game faces on.
And one big blow they will have to overcome today, the loss of Jeff Braswell. And here come the Hawkeyes. The defending Big Ten champions getting a brand new season started here this afternoon at Kinnick Stadium.
Well, we might mention Braswell, but the kid who's going to take his place is
really frightening looking this morning with some heavy rain. Hayden Fry has his troops ready. He's amazingly positive about this club, despite the fact that he lost a lot of starters from last year.
I could tell the sun was going to come out because Hayden Fry put on his sunglasses.
And there's Jimmy Kreiner over on the other side of the field. And I'll tell you what, he's done a fine job with Iowa State, and he's looking for a win here in Iowa City.
Iowa has won the toss. They have elected to receive.
Number 2, Robert Smith. And number 28,
Robert Smith and Kevin Harmon are back awaiting the kickoff. Rich Frank about to get things underway here in Iowa City. This is Kevin Harmon, a yard deep in the end zone. And a good return by Harmon all the way out to the 25-yard line. Scott Crimmins making the tackle.
25-yard return by Kevin Harmon. Almost broke that loose. He got away from his wedge, got to the left side, and broke it up the middle. One man was there to make the tackle.
Here's a kid that's been waiting for this opportunity for a long time. Mark Vlasic, senior, out of Monica, Pennsylvania.
You can see that he doesn't
Chuck Long for all these years. Now a senior getting a chance to show what he can do.
Boy, he's a good-looking young man.
The running backs are David Hudson and Kevin Harmon. This is the fullback, David Hudson, across the 30. He's got the first down and then some, all the way out to the 39-yard line. Brian Refner, number 18, making the tackle after a 12-yard pickup by the junior from Texas.
That's just a good move by David Hudson. Just a quick pitch out to the left, like Coach Fry says, quarterback pitch out left. Hudson showed him just exactly where to run, and with those big, strong legs up on top, ran over one of the defenders and picked up the first down on the 39-yard line.
You saw the Iowa starters offensively. They are very big up front. And Hayden Fry will actually tell you Mark Vlasic's arm may be a little stronger than the arm of Chuck Long, although he hasn't had nearly the experience that Long had here. Hudson again gets it up to the 45-yard line. Chris Moore, outside linebacker from Salt Lake City, number 55, making the stop for the Cyclones.
Again, those strong legs carried Chris Moore an extra 5 yards.
Now, defensively, here's where Iowa State has a different look today. Robert Dabney is a junior college transfer on the line. And that linebacking core, Anthony Hoskins, in there in place of Jeff Braswell, declared ineligible just this morning. And the Iowa State secondary, all seniors, very experienced back there.
They have a tenacious defense even without Braswell.
Second down, about 4 yards to go at their own 45-yard line. Harmon looking for running room outside. He has the first down. He's all the way down to the 42-yard line before being forced out of bounds by number 23, Terry Sheffey.
That Hawkeye offensive line coming off quick and making some dents in that defense of Iowa State. Watch the blocking up front up here on the right by that offensive line. And also number 20, David Hudson, as Kevin Harmon picks up a first down on the sideline.
Kevin Harmon backed up brother Ronnie Harmon last year. Got a little bit of playing time here and there. He's a senior from Laurelton, New York. It's a first down for Iowa at the Iowa State 42. Vlasic sticking to the ground game. Harmon again down to about the 37-yard line. Bill Bertheson, number 95, the defensive right tackle, making the stop after a 6-yard gain. It'll be second down and 4.
Well, he's sticking to the ground game. That's Hayden Fry's idea of football. If something's working, he's going to keep it going.
Second down, 4 yards to go. They spot the ball just inside the 38-yard line. Robert Smith comes out wide left. Hudson, the fullback, looking for running room, getting down close to the first down. He may have gotten it. The stop made by Dennis Gibson, number 57.
Watch Gibson here. The linebacker, he's moving him over for a blitz, but he's still blocked pretty strongly by Flagg, number 88, and Flagg continues to go on with him. And David Hudson, again, with his great strength, picks up the first down.
So the first down at the 32-yard line. Iowa moving the football here early and doing it all on the ground. Dennis Gibson, by the way, was voted by his teammates as their Defensive Player of the Year in 1985. Vlasic back to throw for the first time. He's got plenty of time. Throwing deep for Smith. And he was pulled down. That'll be interference. Kevin Kohler, number 5, guilty of the interference.
No doubt about that.
A little anxiety there, you think, Ron?
I don't know, but he made it a little obvious, if you'll see on this replay right here. Just grabbed him and threw him down to the ground before the play came. There it is. It's just right at the end right there. Kevin Kohler, interference. It'll be a first down for Iowa.
So the first penalty flag of the season has been dropped in our Big Ten television coverage. Sam Mathis, the referee from the Big 8 conference.
That's something new
this year. New wrinkle. The visiting team in interconference play provides the referee, or their conference does. The penalty moves the ball to the 17-yard line. It's a first down. Jim Morrow comes out wide left. Robert Smith wide right. A little confusion in the Iowa backfield. Vlasic back to throw again. Throwing for Robert Smith again in the end zone, and no. He was out of bounds.
Well, what happened?
Pitts back there in the coverage.
What happened defensively is Iowa State came up with a 9-man line, so Vlasic, what he did, he's called an audible, and he saw his flanker out there on the outside, and he threw it incomplete to Robert Smith. But that was a great call because it was an audible at the line of scrimmage when the defense gave him that little pass play.
So it's second down and 10 now at the Iowa State 17. Just underway in the opening quarter. About 3 minutes have gone by. Smith again comes wide to the left. Hudson and Harmon, the running backs. And we get a whistle. Might be a delay of game.
That's what it looks like. They're doing an awful lot of stunting, and that's what makes that Iowa State defense so good. They're in and out. Those linebackers play that 4-3 very strongly, and they come in up sometimes, and they're blitzing with their halfbacks and also their defensive safeties, and it really confuses a quarterback. And of course, Mark Vlasic, who's brand new, is a little bit confused today when he's trying to call his audibles.
We should point out that even though Mark Vlasic is the starter, he's been under some pressure this year to keep that job from a freshman named Dan McGuire out of California.
Oh boy, and he's a good one. 6'8", 230 pounds.
He was considered the number 2 quarterback in the nation in high school last year. Iowa got him. Jeff George, the other one, went to Purdue. Hudson Henderson, the fullback, inside the 20, bulls his way down to about the 14-yard line. Bill Bertheson, number 95, again making the stop for Iowa State after a 7-yard gain.
David Hudson on a draw play. It looked like Mark Vlasic was going to roll out, and he handed it back to David Hudson. He went to the right side, picked up 7 yards.
Hudson now with 4 carries, good for 29 yards. He'll probably be carrying the ball a little bit more this year because of his experience. Hayden Fry looking on as 3rd down and 8 from the 15-yard line.
Double wing.
Vlasic back to throw on 3rd down. Smith can't hang on to it at the 10-yard line. Terrence Anthony back there in the coverage for Iowa State.
Not a very good throw. Kevin Smith went into the double wing from the slot formation, ran a little slant out, looked like it was going to be good, but the ball was not thrown very well by Mark Vlasic. Plus, it's a little bit behind him, and he has to turn around backwards. That's a tough catch to make.
So on 4th down, Rob Houtland will check in. Chuck Hartlieb does the holding. Houtland will be trying this one from the 22-yard line. It'll be a 32-yard attempt. He was first team all Big Ten last year. And he's off to a good start this year. The 32-yarder is good. And the Iowa Hawkeyes on the board. It is 3-0 with 11:23 to go in the opening quarter. Houtland with a 32-yard field goal. Iowa takes the early lead. We'll be right. Jeff Dole. The kick by Cook. It's going to be to about the 4-yard line where Dole will start for the Cyclones. Across the 20, he gets up to about the 30-yard line before he's pulled down. Not a bad return at all for Jeff Dole.
Yeah, you're right. It's another good return, a good field position for the Iowa State Cyclones.
25 yards on the return for Dole. And here's Alex Espinosa, the 5th-year senior out of East Los Angeles. He began his college career at Cal State Fullerton, transferred to Iowa State, and after redshirting for 1 year has become a good one. He could surpass David Archer this year as the all-time Iowa State passer. Andrew Jackson gets the first call, and he gets out to about the 34-yard line. George Davis, number 37, making the stop after a 4-yard gain.
Just getting their feet wet, just getting out hitting first time offensively this year. Here's the Iowa State offense. They've got some experience with Jackson and Espinosa. Henderson's only a sophomore. Robbie Minor we'll talk more about later. They too are very big up front, but that's nothing new in college football these days. It's unbelievable to see these young kids.
2nd down, 6 yards to go from the 34-yard line. Espinosa giving this time to Joe Henderson, and he is hit hard by George Davis, the senior from Des Moines. He's playing in Larry Station's spot this year, and he's determined to show that he can play there and play at the same caliber that Station did.
Well, Larry Station gave him a lot of tips last year playing behind him, and George Davis right there really slammed Joe Henderson to the ground.
No gain on the play. 3rd down and 6. Espinosa back to throw for the first time under some pressure. It is incomplete. Tom Stoniak, the tight end, had a pretty clean shot at it. Kerry Burt back there in the coverage for Iowa. A penalty flag is down at about the 42-yard line.
I don't know what it would be. It's a surprising flag to me because I don't believe that number 3 was interfering with anyone.
No, looks like they had an ineligible receiver. Is what they look like.
Kerry Burt was not the foul. It might have been ineligible. You might be right, partner. We'll wait and see.
That's what the call was.
If you can read lips like we can, it's ineligible receiver downfield. It's refused, and it'll be 3rd and 5.
It'll be 4th down.
Oh, yeah.
It'll be 4th
They lose
down.
the down. That's right.
They lose the down. The penalty is refused.
Well, we're a little bit scratchy, too. It's our first game this year, too, partner.
Rick Frank will check in to do the punting. He handles all the kicking chores for the Cyclones. He's their place kicker and their punter.
And Robert Smith will receive for the Hawkeyes. He'll get the ball back.
3-0 Iowa leads it. A little over 10 minutes to go in the opening quarter. There's the boot by Frank. Robert Smith going to let it go. What a kick by Frank, but it's going to go into the end zone. That, my friends, was a long, long punt. Call it 65 yards. Into the end zone, however, and it comes out to the 20-yard line. So it has the same effect as a 45-yard punt with no return.
That's very important when you get no return.
So a good job done there by the Iowa State punter, Rick Frank. A timeout has been called on the field with 10 minutes from Kinnick Stadium in Iowa City, where the Hawkeyes have an early lead, 3-0, and they have the ball back at their own 20-yard line. They send Jim Morrow out wide left this time. Smith is wide right. Hudson and Harmon, the running backs, behind Vlasic. This is the fullback, Hudson. Coming to the near side, making it to about the 26-yard line before he's forced out of bounds by Brian Refner. Refner, a transfer from Hutchinson Community College in Hutchinson, Kansas. Hudson has good size, Ron, 6'2", 230.
Well, a big thing, and the reason why he's making some yardage, there's good blocking up front, and I think that's one of Hayden Fry's coaching abilities, and that's to get his people out there in front. Guys like Jim Morrow, who's a split end, but still made a good block, and Hudson picked up, Harmon picked up 7 yards on the play.
So it'll be second down, about 3 yards to go for the first down. Harmon up across the 35. He's got plenty of yardage for the first down, brought down by Greg Leiter, senior defensive tackle from Mosinee, Wisconsin. It's a first down for the Hawkeyes, as once again they're beginning this drive, Ron, the same way they did the last one, running the ball at first.
Yes, sir, and of course David Hudson that time right straight up the middle. The big guy just opened up a hole. The big guys up front open up a hole, and Hudson can make some yards. He's strong up top.
So it's a first down at the 38-yard line. Vlasic giving to Harmon. Really bowling his way, trying to pick up an extra yard or two, and he was able to pick up another yard or two. Dennis Gibson, number 57, making the stop.
The surge of that offensive line just picks up those yards, and that was a pickup by Harmon of 7 yards. And again, they're in great position, second down and 3. Oh, and just take a look at this offensive line come off, and in the Iowa defense, look at how far back they are, 4 or 5 yards.
And there's Dennis Gibson finally bringing him down after the 7-yard gain, second down 3. They won't get the first down this time, as Chris Moore, the outside linebacker, on the strong side, brings down the ball carrier, Kevin Harmon.
Well, they're looking out just to keep that ball control, and I think Hayden Fry is looking at a different look this year with that tough fullback David Hudson and Kevin Harmon with ball control rather than throwing it last year like he did with Long.
It'll be third down and 2. The ball on the Iowa 46-yard line. There are 2 tight ends in there now for the Hawkeyes. Vlasic pitching out to Hudson. Hudson has the first down across midfield to the 49-yard line. Brian Refner making the stop for Iowa State, number 18. The Iowa State sideline.
They're looking to try to do something offensively against Iowa's defense. That's their offensive coach.
We have a moment here. Let's pause 5 seconds for station identification. It's a first down for the Hawkeyes. 8 minutes to go, first quarter. Iowa leading at 3-0. They're just across midfield. Vlasic dropping straight back. Firing and completing it at the 41-yard line. Number 47, Jim Morrow, the senior from Des Moines. Brought down by Anthony Hoskins inside the 35-yard line. It's another first down for Iowa.
Iowa went into a double wing, and Morrow was out on the outside. Ran a little turnout. He caught that pass for 17 yards. But watch the little move to the outside. He's wide open because I think there was a mistake on the Iowa State defense. Number 49 was not out there to make the cover for the Cyclones.
So it's another first down for Iowa, just outside the Iowa State 33. Morrow comes out wide left again. Here comes Smith to the slot left side. Vlasic giving up the middle across the 30-yard line. Chris Moore making the stop.
I mentioned number 49 on the last play. His name is Anthony Hoskins, and he's the gentleman that's replacing the middle linebacker Broswell.
4-yard gain that time for David Hudson. It'll be second down and about 6 yards to go for the first down. Hudson having a very productive first quarter. A little over 7 minutes remaining in the opening quarter.
Double wing again.
Vlasic back to throw. He's got all kinds of protection going for Robert Smith. It is caught and dropped inside the 5-yard line. A good effort by Smith and a good effort by Brian Reffner, the free safety, who was right there. And this time timed his hit very well.
He and Kevin Cullen both were right there, and that's the kind of defense you have to play. The ball was almost caught by Robert Smith. A good throw by Mike Flagg. It was right in there. But, of course, those defenders, watch him hit him as he catches the ball. Good hit by number 5, Kevin Cullen.
So the incompletion.
Watch the good blocking up front here by the offensive line. They keep those defenders out to give some time for Mark Vlasic to throw the ball downfield deep.
That is Dave Croston working on Robert Dabney. It is third down, about 6 yards to go for the first down. They're at the 29-yard line, and a timeout's going to be taken. Mark Vlasic, unsure of what he was looking at there defensively, wants to talk it over. So the Hawkeyes stopping the clock with 6:51 remaining in the first quarter. Iowa leading at 3-0. And Vlasic will head for the sidelines and a chat with Hayden Fry.
So they were up here by 6:30 this morning. They've been practicing all day. And I'll tell you one thing, it doesn't take much to keep these Iowa Hawkeye fans up as high as they are. This is another full house. Look at this crowd. Fantastic.
Third down, 6 yards to go at the Iowa State 29-yard line. Vlasic again has plenty of time. Firing for Robert Smith, and it is caught and dropped again. Smith with a good effort. Terrence Anthony back there in the coverage this time, the right cornerback out of East St. Louis, Illinois.
Boy, Mark Vlasic lets it go, doesn't he? Even if there's a little traffic down there. That was not a good throw because number 2, Robert Smith, he was not open down here. But it's a good defensive play by Terrence Anthony, knocking the ball out of his hands and, of course, putting number 2, Robert Smith, out of bounds. It's going to be a fourth down, and Iowa again will try for a field goal.
Rob Houtland this time will be trying it from the 36-yard line, a 46-yard effort. It's got plenty of distance, and it is good. So Houtland, the all Big Ten kicker from a year ago, picking right up where he left off last year. A 32-yarder followed by a 46-yarder. And with 6:39 remaining in the opening quarter, it is Iowa 6, Iowa State nothing.
Big games for them in the Big Ten. One against Purdue and one against Michigan.
Okay, the kickoff man for Iowa, number 84, Marv Cook. Jeff Dole is deep for Iowa State. From the 35-yard line, the kickoff sailing a little short this time. It's going to be taken at the 15-yard line by Andrew Jackson. And Jackson gets it out to about the 31-yard line before he's brought down. A 17-yard return. The tackle made by J.J. Puck, number 32.
Good field position for the Cyclones, and here's the Iowa defensive line.
And they are big. Jeff Ross,
are they big?
An all Big Ten selection last year. John Breeze, a returning starter from a year ago. George Davis in that key linebacking spot. And the secondary. Espinoza giving off to Jackson. Jackson can't find much room. Gets about a yard or two before George Davis brings him down for the Hawkeyes.
It doesn't look like to me the offense of Iowa State's going to be able to move the ball on the ground. So I think Alex Espinoza is going to have to get that ball up in the air and start moving the ball.
Second down and 7 after a 3-yard gain by Andrew Jackson. We've got about 6 minutes to go in the opening quarter. The Cyclones have it down by 6. Espinoza giving to Jackson again. Jackson looking for running room on the far side of the field, and he's forced out of bounds to the 39-yard line. Keaton Smiley, sophomore cornerback from Duncanville, Texas.
Boy, there's some good hitting going on there, too. I can tell you, I can hear it all the way up here, partner.
Andrew Jackson now with 3 carries, good for 12 yards. He's a senior out of El Camino Junior College. He also played at USC for 1 year before transferring to Iowa State, and he was voted their top rookie a year ago.
Short yardage.
Third down and 2 at the 40-yard line. It's the fullback, Joe Henderson. Diving Swing for what looks like a first down. Keaton Smiley, number 44, again making the stop for the Hawkeyes.
And some good hard hitting. They had 2 tight ends in. The Iowa State Cyclones did, and they picked up that first down. It's their first down of the football game. Andrew Jackson.
So a first down at the Cyclone 42. Mike Burke in for Bruce Gear at the defensive right end spot for Iowa. Espinoza back to throw on first down. Firing incomplete. The intended receiver, number 87, Robbie Minor. A penalty marker is down at the 45-yard line.
Now, I don't know if I can agree with this call. The ball was thrown so badly, I don't think the catch could have been made by Robbie Minor. But they called defensive interference against the Hawkeyes.
So the first penalty flag of the afternoon against Iowa.
Ken Sims.
No, the inadvertent flag.
How do you like that? Oh, Craig?
I think you were right. I really do. I don't think that ball could have been caught.
The referees have that option. And that's sort of neat that they can now say it's an inadvertent flag instead of like it used to be when they threw the flag. They had to do something. I'm sure Jim Kreiner doesn't like it.
He doesn't seem that upset, though. I think he is going to agree with the call when he hears it. So with 5:35 to go in the opening quarter, it'll be second down and 10.
Second down 10 for the Cyclones from their own 42.
The ball just inside the Iowa State 42-yard line. Espinoza rolling right. Firing complete to number 87, Robbie Minor. He's got the first down. He's all the way down to the 39-yard line before Dave Haight, number 64, made the stop for Iowa.
That Iowa defense went into a zone, and they rolled over here to the left. And number 87, big number 87, Robbie Minor, just stopped in the middle of the zone. As you can see him right here, he was wide open. Good throw by Alex Espinoza, 17 yards and a first down for the Iowa State Cyclones, then moving the ball pretty nicely.
Robbie Minor, quite a story. He's been on and off this football team for disciplinary reasons, but he's back this year.
Good football player, though.
Espinoza back to throw again. Again, he has time. But the pass overthrown. The intended receiver, Hugh Suffren, number 84. The junior split end from Kansas. Kyle Crow back in the coverage for Iowa.
He was looking for Suffren, but of course, it's a lot easier to see somebody open from up here than it is on the field because you got those 6'8" guys in front of you with their hands up, and they're about 290 pounds ready to kill you. You want to throw the ball and get rid of it.
Espinoza with just that one completion so far in 4 efforts. It's now second down and 10. Jackson gaining about 3 yards before he's brought down at the 37-yard line. George Davis in on the stop along with Kerry Burt. And so far, Ron, George Davis's name has come up quite a few times defensively in this first quarter, indicating that he is so far filling the shoes of Larry Station very well.
Well, one thing you have to look at, inside linebackers, you'll always hear their names a lot because that's the key. He has to key on the runner, and he's the one who's going to make the tackle after the front 4 and other people sort of strip all the blockers off.
Passing situation here, third down and 7. Espinoza under some pressure, trying to dump it off to his fullback, Joe Henderson. But the Hawkeye pressure made the difference that time.
Well, they had a screen pass. They had the right play called. The only thing is the offensive line let the defense come in a little too quickly on Espinoza, and he couldn't get the ball out to his fullback, Joe Henderson. Was set up beautifully.
So that'll bring up a 4th down situation, 4th and 7. Rick Frank has entered the game, number 4. He's going to try a field goal. It'll be coming from about the 42-yard line. This will be a 52-yard effort. And a timeout has been taken here by Iowa State, stopping the clock with 4:27 remaining in the opening quarter. This is going to be an interesting field goal attempt. Ron Kramer, see what kind of range Rick Frank has. 52 yards, a long ways.
That's a good range, 52 yards.
This telecast is authorized under broadcasting rights granted by the Big Ten Conference and the Turner Broadcasting System. Any publication, rebroadcast, retransmission, or other use of the pictures, descriptions, or accounts of this game without the express written consent of the Big Ten and the Turner Broadcasting System Incorporated is prohibited. I remember that from last year.
And our friend Wayne Duke, is the commissioner of the Big Ten, is here to make sure that happens.
He is here today, and he will be joining us, by the way, in the third quarter.
Yeah, he'll stop by.
There's your score, 6-0 Iowa. And Iowa State trying to get it back to a 3-point deficit now as Rick Frank, the left-footed kicker, is going to try this one. Let's call it 53 yards. They've got that ball spotted now at about the 43-yard line. No way. It's way short and off to the left.
He shanked it. You see, many times he probably can kick the ball 53 yards, but sometimes when you get on the field and you try very hard to kick it 53 yards, you hit it a little bit too low, and that's what happened to Frank on that last kick, and it didn't get hardly past the goal line.
As you see, he was 1 out of 3 at that 50-yard plus range last year.
That's not bad, 33% over around 50 yards.
So Iowa gets the ball back at their own 36-yard line, leading at 6-0 with 4:23 to go in the opening quarter.
They got the double wing
back
again.
Is David Hudson. Vlasic back to throw on first down, firing for Robert Smith. He's got him at the 40. Smith with a good move, gets away from one man, almost up to the midfield spot. Terrence Anthony, number 35, finally brought him down. But it's going to be a first down after a 13-yard gain.
Now this is the same play they threw before. Now watch Smith. All he runs is a little slant out pattern. Now when he gets the ball, he certainly knows what to do with it. Watch his great move. Just a super move to pick up the first down.
Read an interesting interview with Robert Smith. He was talking about how last year he was used primarily to go deep. And while he appreciates them thinking of him as a deep man, he wants to prove himself this year as a full receiver, that he can take the short pass and run with it as well.
There he is again. Same play.
28-yard line across midfield, and is pulled down at about the 48-yard line of Iowa State by Dennis Gibson, number 57.
I'll tell you one thing. Hayden Fry will continue to call that play until Iowa State comes up and defends it.
You don't feel on that stuff, especially 3rd and 2. You can't play soft on that. Every guy's got to work on the other side of the line of scrimmage, otherwise, bang, first down. They'll get the change moving. Hell, that's when we make win run around here. 3rd and 2, we hope we get in those situations. Now you got to make the play. I'll put you in the game, so.
3 minutes, 26 seconds remaining. You don't think these two teams want to win here today?
Boy.
It's a second down, about 6. Vlasic giving to Harmon. Harmon gets to about the 45. Terry Sheffey, number 23, another junior college transfer out of Eastern Utah, making the stop. 6-foot senior from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
You know, Iowa's showing an awful lot of offense today. They're showing the pro set. They're showing the I formation. They're showing some double wing. They're showing triple wing. They're showing everything to this Iowa State defense. And you said they want to win. They certainly do want to win this football game. Get off to a good start. And, of course, try to match last year's season to win the Big Ten.
3rd down and 5 at the 46-yard line of the Cyclones. Hudson is going to be brought down this time after a gain of only about a yard. Robert Dabney, a 6'4", 220-pound junior college transfer from Triton Junior College. This is his first year with Iowa State. He's from St. Louis.
Did a good job defensively. He sort of shook off Craig Clark, number 49, and was able to make that play. And, of course, this is a punting situation for the Iowa Hawkeyes.
So the first punt situation for the Hawkeyes. Gary Kostrobala is their punter.
Yeah, there you go. Thanks.
But he's not out there. Marv Cook, number 84, to do the punting. And this one will be caught at about the 18-yard line. That's where the Cyclones will put it in play. So Marv Cook in for Kostrobala to do the punting.
Well, he's the short punter. And inside the 50-yard line, they put in Cook and let him just put it up in the air. And, of course, Kostrobala is one of those long kickers.
So the Cyclones put it in play now on the 18-yard line. Well, we received some stunning news just before the game. We want to send along our sympathies to the Florida State University football team Their starting offensive tackle, Pablo Lopez, a 21-year-old junior, was shot and killed last night by a non-student on campus. Someone from Tallahassee has been arrested, and we send along our sympathies to the Florida State football program. Espinoza firing deep, incomplete. The intended receiver, Robbie Minor.
A lot of time back there for Espinoza.
Ken Sims was back there in the coverage. It'll be 2nd down and 10. About 1:44 left to go in the opening quarter.
That's just good defense by the Iowa Hawkeyes. When he's got about 5 or 6 seconds to throw the ball back there, it's Alex Espinoza, and nobody's open, and so he just threw it out of bounds over here to the right.
Joe Mott has checked in at defensive left end, replacing the starter Richard Pryor for this play. 2nd down 10. Espinoza back to throw again. The pass is intercepted. Kyle Crow with the interception for the Hawkeyes at the 25-yard line.
The blitz was on. The Iowa Hawkeyes blitzed him. Made him hurry that throw.
The first turnover of the afternoon.
Good interception by Kyle Crow.
He's a
Watch the blitz.
senior.
Watch him now come in on him very quickly, and he has to throw this ball a little quicker than he wanted to. And a great play by number 18, Kyle Crow.
And the pressure applied by Jeff Dross, the all Big Ten returnee.
You see what happened on the play. The quarterback could not see Kyle Crow sort of sneaking in over from the left side, and that's why the interception was made.
So the Hawkeyes regain possession to the 26-yard line. Almost losing his footing there, Kevin Harmon. But he got it back, didn't he? Finally bumped out of bounds. A penalty marker down back at the 33-yard line.
We'll have a holding on number 20, David Hudson.
And a big gainer by Kevin Harmon's going to be called back.
Well, it was a good block out front by David Hudson, but he sustained the block only because he grabbed a hold of the defender.
So that will back up the Hawkeyes a little bit. We'll watch referee Sam Mathis for the call.
Those are costly mistakes, those holding mistakes.
So the holding call moves the ball back to the 36-yard line.
We got a replay here, and if you watch number 20 right out in front, there he is. Watch him grab him and pull him down right there. Pushed him from behind. I don't think it was a good call.
So it is now 1st down and 20. And we might look for Mark Vlasic to put the ball up in the air. Trying to regain some of those yards lost to penalties.
They're in a double wing.
The lone running back is Hudson. He's going to be the ball carrier. He'll get inside the 35-yard line. Another penalty marker down back at the 37. Milan Pitts making the stop for Iowa State after about a 3-yard gain by Hudson. But we have another penalty flag. And again, it's going to be holding against Iowa. This is the kind of thing, Ron, that'll really drive a coach crazy.
You betcha. That's going to be against Mike Flagg, the great tight end and All-American prospect for the Iowa Hawkeyes. Now it's going to be 1st down and 30.
All the way back to the 46-yard line. 1st and 30 with 1:28 to go in the opening quarter.
Well, we can see it right here.
The Hawkeyes on top 6-0. They had an excellent chance to increase that lead, but they're moving the wrong way right now. 1st and 30. Vlasic hands the ball off across the 45-yard line to about the 43. Robert Dabney.
That's something new. That's something new for Hayden Fry to play it this close to the belt, huh?
The ball carrier was Rick Bayless, number 13, senior out of Hugo, Minnesota. He gained 2 yards. It'll be 2nd down now and about 38 yards to go. Correction, 28 yards to go. The ball just outside the Iowa State 43. Less than a minute to go now in the opening quarter. Vlasic back to throw. He's got time. He is firing long downfield. It is caught by Jim Morrow. Touchdown.
Well, the only way you can throw a pass pattern that deep, and Jim Morrow ran a great down and in post pattern. And Mark Vlasic, he's the guy who put it right on the numbers. He's the kind of a thrower. If you give him time, he can throw it. Look at the great blocking up front by Croston, Gamble, Sindlinger, Crash, and Wester. That offensive line did a great job. The extra point is good, and Iowa seems to be on their way, 13-0.
The Hawkeyes with a 13-point lead. And those are big points, Ron Kramer, because when you get two back-to-back penalties like that, it almost looks like the wind has been taken out of the sail of the offense. But to bounce right back and score.
Just a great throw by Vlasic. It was right on the target. He waited long enough and he let the play develop. I saw a couple of guys over on the left side. Mike Flagg was wide open over on the left side. But now watch this great down and in pattern by number 47, Jim Morrow. But look at how he stands in that pocket and waits and waits and waits until he sees the opening, and he throws it down. It's perfectly thrown. A great catch by Jim Morrow, and it's a touchdown, Iowa. And the extra point was good. Iowa leads now here with 34 seconds left in the first period, 13-0.
So we'll get the Iowa kickoff here, and maybe one or two plays before time expires in this first quarter. And you also reach a situation when you're the visitor coming in to play a defending conference champion, and you get down by a couple of touchdowns, really, which is what they are right now, 13-0. You're down by that much early. You really don't want to let this one get away. But of course, important possession here for Iowa State coming in.
It sure is, but we looked at the one thing that was very important, defense. Defense made the play for Iowa. They made the interception. It was a good interception by Kyle Crow on about the 25-yard line. But, of course, the big play made by Jim Morrow and Mark Vlasic with that touchdown throw.
Marv Cook will kick it off. Jeff Dole is deep for Iowa State. A short kick coming to only about the 20-yard line where Dole has it. Looking for running room left. He gets across the 30 and is brought down at about the 34-yard line. That's where the Cyclones will put it in play. First down. Brad Quast, a very highly touted freshman out of Des Plaines, Illinois, making the stop. One of three freshmen not being redshirted by Hayden Fry.
Now they really like Quest here, and of course that quarterback we mentioned before, Danny McGuire, who's 6'8" and 230 pounds.
So Jim Kreiner of the Cyclones hoping to get his offense going. 13-0, he trails. First down at the 34. Espinoza back to throw on first down, firing long downfield and overthrowing the intended receiver, Hugh Suffren.
Suffren was open down in that sideline. That's that offensive team making some plans, see if they can get the ball in again.
24 seconds remaining in the first quarter.
Espinoza not throwing the ball very good.
He's been a little off target early in the game. Back to throw again. And this time the pass is complete right at the midfield stripe. Robbie Minor making the reception. Ken Sims making the tackle for Iowa.
That one was on target, wasn't it?
16 yards on that reception.
And Minor making a good catch into that zone of Iowa. Espinoza doing a little bit of rolling out now.
So the ball right on the midfield stripe. It's first down for Iowa State. Suffren goes out left, so does Minor. Espinoza handing the ball to Andrew Jackson. Somebody's shoe came off down there. Jackson losing a yard. George Davis again in to make the tackle for Iowa. A loss of a yard. It'll be second down 11 back at the 49. Who lost the shoe down there?
Big number 57 defensively for the Hawkeyes. John Breeze.
So the quarter comes to an end just in time. John Breeze can put his shoe back on. We have played one quarter here at Kinnick Stadium. It is the Iowa Hawkeyes 13, Iowa State nothing. This is Super Football Saturday on Turner Network Television.
Third down, 11. From the Cyclone 49.
Today's game is being brought to you in part by Ford and your local Ford dealer, who invites you to see the 1986 Ford cars and trucks. Have you driven a Ford lately? Second quarter just underway. The first play, Espinoza tried to hit Andrew Jackson with a pass off to the right side. It fell incomplete. It's third down 11.
They got anxieties before we got back on.
The Cyclones at their own 49-yard line. Third down 11. A passing situation. Espinoza dropping straight back. Under some pressure, and down he goes. After the 44. Jeff Dross got through again.
Oh, Jeff Dross was right there waiting for him, like the Hawk he is. Watch the penetration defensively by the Hawkeyes. They're coming in there with everything. They're blitzing. They're coming in strong. And there's Dross making the tackle on Alex Espinoza, and everybody downfield covered. So Espinoza had nothing to do except give it up. And, of course, it's fourth down now and 16 yards to go. And Iowa State Cyclones will have to punt.
Rick Frank in to do the booting. Good, high, lengthy kick. And the fair catch called for at the 16-yard line by Robert Smith. That was a 41-yard kick by Rick Frank with no return. So the Hawkeyes put it in play again at their own 16-yard line.
And these Hawkeye fans are really happy out here today.
Other scores, Boston College leading California 7-0 early. There you see how Iowa has dominated things in the first quarter of play, almost 3-1 in total yards. And that big defensive play, the interception.
Oh,
by
boy,
Kyle
and
Crow.
that's the one that led to the 7 points. That's where you really win them and lose them. You win them and lose them defensively, and that's what Hayden Fry said to us yesterday. He hopes his defense can make the big plays.
Vlasic pitching out to Harmon. Harmon across the 15 to about the 21-yard line. Milan Pitts, number 28, the left side cornerback. Senior out of Pasadena, California. A lot of Californians on this Iowa State team. Offensively, Espinoza and Davis. Defensively, Pitts. 5 carries for 33 yards now for Harmon.
Doing a good job of running the ball, Iowa is, and only throwing the ball when they have to.
Second down and 5 at the 21-yard line.
I think they want to feature David Hudson this year, both blocking and running. But of course, if Kevin Harmon comes on like his brother, you know he's going to get the ball most of the time anyway.
Like either one of his brothers.
You betcha.
His oldest brother, Derek Harmon, another fine running back, played at Cornell, now with the San Francisco 49ers. Had to get Cornell's name in there, so
I figured you did.
Vlasic handing off to Hudson, the big fullback from Waxahachie, Texas, pulls his way out to the 27-yard line. Dennis Gibson making the stop for Iowa State, number 57.
We got a first down for Iowa. 5-yard gain. A lot of that just extra effort by David Hudson.
So the ball is put down at the 27-yard line of the Hawkeyes. First down. We're in the opening minutes of quarter number 2 here at Kinnick Stadium. And so far, Hawkeye fans liking what they're seeing. Vlasic with a straight drop. Has time, has a man wide open. Robert Smith out near midfield. Terrence Anthony finally got him out of bounds, but he was wide open, Ron.
Well, he's open again because Mark Vlasic, you will see, has plenty of time. Those offensive linemen just holding that pocket for him, and Robert Smith running an out pattern on the left side. It was thrown a little high, but a good catch by Robert Smith. And here's the great blocks. Look at him. Look at him. Crossed it right here. His man can't even come close. He stayed with him all the way. The ball's already caught downfield. And it's a first down by Robert Smith and a great catch.
22 yards on that gain. First down now at the 49-yard line. Vlasic rolling right, throwing right, complete to Morrow. Inside the 40, inside the 30, down to the 24-yard line. Dennis Gibson making the tackle for Iowa State. And Jim Morrow making his presence known his first year as a starter.
Oh, now watch this nice little rollout here by Mark Vlasic. He sees Morrow open on the outside, a turnout pattern. He's wide open. And, of course, we have a missed tackle right there. And finally, big number 57, Dennis Gibson, brings down Morrow on the sideline, and this Hawkeye train is rolling.
1st and 10 at the Iowa State 25. Jim Kreiner looking a little concerned on the Iowa State sideline. The Hawkeyes seeming to gain confidence, but under some pressure this time. Vlasic dumps it off. He had a man near enough to it, Kevin Harmon. Brian Reffner from his free safety spot came breaking through that time to apply some pressure on Vlasic.
They brought everybody.
One of the few times that he's had some pressure applied.
That's right, but they did it with a safety blitz. So they brought everybody plus the kitchen sink. Number 18 did a good job defensively, but better than that. Well, now watch Mark Vlasic go back. He goes back and he sees that the blitz is on, and number 18 is coming in on him. Reffner, he gets rid of the ball, and that's what a good quarterback can do. And they can't say that he got the ball off because somebody was in position.
Hudson and Bayless are the running backs now. Inside the 20, down to the 18-yard line goes Hudson. Greg Leiter, number 90, making a stop for Iowa State. And Hudson having himself a very good first half running the football here at Iowa City. He impressed us last year, Ron, working in the backfield with Ronnie Harmon.
He was a good blocker last year for Ronnie Harmon. But, of course, you know as well as I do, I keep talking about the linemen, and coaches will, too. They'll talk about the linemen because you only go as far as your lineman can block.
That was a gain of 7 yards. It'll now be 3rd down and 3. The ball at the 18-yard line of Iowa State. Almost losing that pitch was Hudson, but he gets down to the 16. Aaron Manning, number 22, making the tackle for Iowa State. Going to be close to the first down, but I think he's going to be a little short. Gain of 2 yards. It'll be short by about a yard.
We'll see what kind of gambler Hayden Fry is here, because it's going to be a 4th down and 1 yard to go. Is he going to take the 3, or is he going to go for the first down? Looks like he's going for the first down.
The crowd wants him to. You can hear the go chant in the background. 11 carries now for 70 yards for David Hudson.
We don't see Houghton in. They're going to go to a double wing and probably a very I formation, a strong side I formation to the left.
And we had a whistle before the snap.
They called timeout. I think Iowa State did, just in time.
So the Cyclones got the clock stopped just before the play went off, and boy, that was close. The ball will be re-spotted back at the 16-yard line. It'll be 4th and 1. Timeout, Iowa State. They have used up their second timeout now. They have only 1 left. 11 minutes, 38 seconds remaining in the first half. Iowa leading it now 13-0. 2 field goals by Rob Houghton. 1 from 32 yards, 1 from 46 yards. And a touchdown pass late in the first quarter from that man, Mark Vlasic, to Jim Morrow. Good for 43 yards. The Houghton conversion making it 13-0.
I think that Hayden Fry likes what he sees in Mark Vlasic. He has great confidence in Mark Vlasic. We talked to him yesterday, and boy, he is really high on Mark Vlasic. And the great confidence that Hayden Fry just gives his players is incredible. They have a lot of fun, and they play football that way. And when you win, you can have a lot more fun, he says.
This will be an interesting play coming up. Iowa State called timeout when they saw that different formation with a 4th and 1 situation coming. Now they've talked it over. Let's see if Iowa shows them the same thing.
I'm sure they will.
4th down, 1 yard to go for the first down. Iowa trying to maintain momentum in this game. Bayless trying to go over the top. No, it was a fake to Bayless. The ball carrier, number 23, Richard Bass.
Well, Mark Vlasic got you, didn't he, partner?
He did.
Great. I mean, I'll tell you what, it was one of those really great fakes up the middle. There's a flag on the play, though. We don't know whether it's going to be good or not. Oh, somebody picked up the flag.
Richard Bass, the sophomore from Omaha.
Down to the 1 yard line.
Robert Dabney
there he is
from scoring. It's 1st and goal. Hudson over the top. Have we got a loose football there? Hold everything. I think we do.
I think they called a touchdown, though, because anytime the ball
Yes, they did.
is over the plane.
It is a touchdown for Iowa. Iowa State thought they had picked up a loose football, but the touchdown had been called.
If the ball is in possession and it goes over the plane of the goal line, the referee calls a touchdown. And Jim Kreiner not liking that call.
Take another look at it. Hudson.
I'll tell you what, it could be close. But the referee is right on the goal line.
So that makes it 19-0. And now Iowa is going to go for 2. Whistles. Markers are down.
Game seems to be getting just a trite out of hand, and Iowa this time had an illegal procedure against them. So they'll probably kick the extra point from here.
That moves it back 5 yards.
Looks like he's still going for 2.
It is 19-0 Hawkeyes.
I don't know what the reason for this is, but to get to 21 doesn't make much sense to me.
But they are still going to go for 2 here. Vlasic back to throw. Looking for an open man, not finding one. Now he sees somebody there, and it's incomplete. Jim Morrow, the intended receiver, so the attempt for 2 points does not succeed.
And the score is still 19-0 in favor of Iowa over Iowa State.
11 minutes, 30 seconds to go in the first half. Timeout on the field. Iowa has opened up a big lead. We'll be right back. And back at Kinnick Stadium in Iowa City, where it's been all Hawkeyes so far, 19-0. And if you're Jim Kreiner now, Ron, you got to be a little concerned about the way things have gone so far.
Well, this Iowa Hawkeye offense is really potent. We didn't think they would be as potent as they are without all those All-Americans and Chuck Long and Ronnie Harmon. But boy, they can really move the ball against you. I'm very impressed with Mark Vlasic, Kevin Harmon, of course, David Hudson doing a great job, and Jimmy Morrow, who's a great flanker.
With the 19-point lead now, Hayden Fry is going to give one of his young kickers, sophomore George Murphy, a chance to kick off.
Those Hawkeye fans are really liking it out here. They're leading right now 19-0 with 11:30 left in the first half. This could be another one of those 57-0 games that they've had the last 3 or 4 years.
Murphy from New Milford, Connecticut. Gets the kick away. Inside the 10-yard line, Jackson out across the 15. The 20 almost tripped over his own man there. Got to the 23-yard line before Rick Bayless made the stop for the Hawkeyes.
15-yard return.
So the 11:24 remaining in quarter number 2. Alex Espinosa back out to try to get the Cyclones moving.
Well, the big mole right now is on the side of Iowa. Some big plays got to be made by this Cyclone offense, and it has to be stimulated by Alex Espinosa, number 11 at quarterback for Iowa State.
First down on the 23-yard line. Espinosa handing the ball off to Joe Henderson. He's brought down by John Breeze after a gain of close to 5 yards.
That's just a classic off-tackle play. And Henderson hitting the hole very nicely. Good block up front by Vince Jasper, number 63.
Let's call it a 4-yard gain. It'll be second down and 6. The ball is right on the 27-yard line of Iowa State. This time he faked the handoff, rolling right, and he's under some pressure, but he fires it to Jackson. It's complete. Jackson brought down by a swarm of Hawkeyes close to the first down. Dave Haight in the middle of that swarm. A penalty marker is down.
That Iowa team is tough defensively. Might be roughing.
And an Iowa State player is down as well.
There's some hitting going on down there.
That's Andrew Jackson.
Espinoza that time threw the ball out of fear itself. The penalty looks as though it's going to go against Iowa State.
Iowa State's trainer is out tending to the injured player.
We still don't have any sign as to
That's
what
Keith
the penalty
Sims.
is.
Keith Sims getting back on his feet. He is a big guy, 6'3", 291, sophomore out of Watchung, New Jersey.
It's short of a first down.
You can see George Davis indicating that it is short of the first down.
It's unnecessary roughness against Iowa State. So I'm sure that Iowa will take the penalty.
It would be a third down and less than a yard, so the penalty will be marked off here, and it's a big one. It goes all the way back to the 18-yard line.
Now that's not very good for the Cyclones, because you get yourself into these positions where you're second down and 15. That means that defense can come on you and do just about anything they want to.
So the personal foul maintains the down at second down, but now it is second down and about 15.
Look at
Iowa.
the possession time.
Almost 3-1 difference there. And it's 19-0, and that possession time reflected on the scoreboard. It is third down and 16. It's a loss of down as well. Espinoza coming to his left. Under some pressure again. Gets away from it. Firing incomplete. Hughes suffering, the intended receiver. Keaton Smiley back in the coverage for Iowa. John Breeze, the guy that was in there applying the pressure on Espinoza.
We got another flag on the play. Starting to get a little sloppy down there now. Illegal pass receiver downfield, I believe, against Iowa State.
So right now, things not going well at all for the Cyclones.
Plus that defense of Iowa is doing such a great job. Here's Espinoza rolling out to his left, trying to throw the ball. Looks like it might be a face mask, but I don't think so. It's fourth down, illegal pass receiver downfield. They didn't call the face mask on Breeze. So it'll be a fourth down for Iowa State, and they'll have to kick the ball and give it back to this potent Iowa offense.
Rick Frank in to do the kicking. He gets it away. Robert Smith going to let it bounce. It bounces across midfield, taking an Iowa State roll right now inside the 40, inside the 35. I guess it is taking an Iowa State roll. All the way down to about the 33-yard line.
They needed something to happen good for them, and that punt was one thing that happened good. 48-yard kick. Of course, it rolled 47 of them.
10 minutes, 16 seconds to go in our first half. Iowa leading at 19-0. We'll be right back. This is Super Football. We are back at Kinnick Stadium, Iowa City, where Iowa has a 19-0 lead, and they have the ball back at their own 33-yard line.
Their offense is moving the ball quite nicely, simply because that offensive line is really crushing Iowa State's defense.
Vlasic handing off to Hudson. Hudson up across the 35 to about the 36, a 3-yard gain. Chris Moore, number 55, making the stop for Iowa State.
Well, it looks like Hayden Fry this year is going to give a new picture to everybody. Ball control.
13 carries for 76 yards for David Hudson. He's been getting him about 5 yards in a crack, and if you can pick up 5 yards on the ground every time they hand off, you don't need to throw it much. Vlasic back to throw on second down. Look at the protection he has. Going long. There was a bump downfield for the intended receiver, Jim Morrow. Terrence Anthony back there in the coverage.
Looked like it was an unintentional bump, though, partner. Aaron Manning ran into Morrow. I don't know who Mark Vlasic was looking for. He thought Morrow was going to break open there, and they bumped into each other. And then, of course, defensively, number 35, Terrence Anthony, almost made the interception.
So that'll be a third down and a little more than 4 yards to go for the first down. Ball just inside the 39-yard line. Vlasic wants to throw it on third down. It is complete to Bayless. But I don't think he got enough yardage for the first down. John Sinifro, number 44, sophomore out of Clarendon Hills, Illinois, making the stop.
Well, they had the screen pass really set up on the right side here, and Mark Vlasic went back, but the defense of the Cyclones saw what was coming and was able to make the play. A little bit short, I think, of a first down, but they're going to measure.
It appears from here it'll be short by a foot or a foot and a half or so.
Bring those sticks out.
Make it an inch or an inch. No, it's going to be about a foot.
Boy, you're correct, partner. They didn't fool you on that one, did they?
Now the crowd here wants Hayden Fry to go for it.
Well, I think Hayden Fry just is not going to take any chances here and give the ball back to the Cyclones because his defense is playing pretty strong football now, and he feels as though he can get the ball back.
They are going for it.
Well, Mississippi Gambler's going to do it.
They're going to try here. Fourth down.
He just wants to bury the Cyclones, I guess.
Less than a foot to go, or about a foot to go for the first down.
We know there isn't much love lost between these two teams.
They line up in that power I again. They send David Hudson over the top. Looked like he got it. Chris Moore making the stop, but I think Hudson picked up that needed yard. He did. It's a first down.
Good surge again. I keep saying this about the offensive line, but you can't say enough about the offensive line because every time Harmon or Hudson or Vlasic get the ball, it's the offensive line's got to do a job.
Another first down for the Hawkeyes with 9 minutes remaining in the first half. First and 10 at their own 44.
Hey, Roe, are you leaving us? You up in that balloon?
Our producer.
Our producer.
The pass is incomplete. The intended receiver, Robert Smith. Terrence Anthony back there in the coverage.
You know, Smith was open if Mark Vlasic could have gotten the ball out there. I don't like the rollout to the left. You know why? Because the quarterback has to stop and try to throw it back. And that time he threw it just a little bit behind Robert Smith, and it was incomplete. It'll be second down and 10.
Vlasic now 7 out of 14 for 117 yards, including 1 touchdown. Iowa leading at 19-0. 8:44 remaining in the first half. Second down 10 at the Iowa 44. Vlasic with a straight drop. Throwing long downfield for Morrow, incomplete. Brian Refner back there in the coverage, along with Aaron Manning.
Good coverage back there. Free safety, Brian Refner, came back and helped out. And Jim Morrow wasn't open, and Mark Vlasic just overthrew it, and it fell incomplete. So it'll be a third down and 10 yards to go for the Iowa Hawkeyes.
Well, this is a dream come true for Mark Vlasic.
Oh, wow. I'll tell you what, I had a nice little talk with him yesterday, and he's just so doggone happy to be playing quarterback for the Iowa Hawkeyes this year after being behind Chuck Long for the last 4.
8:38 the time left. Third down and 10. Vlasic back to throw. Again, he has pretty good protection, and the pass is incomplete. The intended receiver was Robert Smith, and he was open.
He was open. It was well thrown. Smitty just took his eye off the ball. He was at that little drag out pattern. Good throw by Mark Vlasic. Good blocking up front again. And here it is, right in the hands. Boom. He just wanted to run with the ball before he caught it. Robert Smith, unfortunately, incomplete for the Iowa Hawkeyes, and they'll be punting from their own 30.
Gary Costrubala gets the kick away. A good high kick. Jeff Dole at the 18-yard line. Takes it up the middle for about a 7-yard return. They'll mark it at the 26-yard line after a 38-yard kick. Herb Wester making the stop for Iowa.
Stop by number 49.
So the ball goes back to Iowa State. 8:23 left in quarter number 2. It is Iowa 19. Iowa State nothing. Hotel room. Chuck Mills on camera getting that shot as we resume play here. Iowa State now with the ball. Alex Espinoza back to throw on first down. And the pass incomplete. Intended for the big tight end Tom Stoniak. George Davis and Dan Worth back in the coverage for Iowa.
Espinoza paid for that throw too, I'll tell you. Big Dave Haight from the Iowa Hawkeyes after he threw the ball, just laid him on the ground. Those quarterbacks are tough, though. Look at Espinosa. He's back up again. Ball should have been caught.
The ball at the 26-yard line. So far, the Cyclones' offense has been stopped cold by the Hawkeye defense. Very little game that time. Look at the number of black-shirted Hawkeyes.
We see the same things, partner. They're swarming.
Henderson's really been stopped. 4 carries, 6 yards.
Not a very good day. But, of course, you have to give a lot of credit to the Iowa Hawkeye defense.
The game that time may be a half a yard, so it's 3rd down and a little bit less than 10 to go for the first down. Passing situation. Miner comes out wide left, Suffren wide right. Espinosa back to throw. The pressure applied, and down he goes. Dan Worth, junior linebacker from Des Moines, broke through for the sack.
A blitz by Danny Worth, the outside linebacker. They were all coming. Alex Espinosa could not see Worth coming from that blind side, and he's on the ground, heavy, hard. Great tackle, good defensive play, and Iowa gets the ball back.
So it's now 4th and 22. Rick Frank in to do the punting. Gets the kick away. Robert Smith going to let it go, and again it takes a big bounce for Iowa State. All the way down to the 26-yard line, rolling to the 25-yard line. A 59-yard kick by Rick Frank.
Robert Smith was very wise in doing what he did. The sun is shining right in his eyes, and obviously the ball got into the sun, and when Robert Smith went to make the free catch, what he did, watch him, he'll make this free catch. You see where the shadow is behind? He can't see the ball, so he just gets away from it. That's a fine play by a receiver, Robert Smith, number 2.
So the ball will be put in play now at the 26-yard line.
Coaches always tell those punt receivers, if you can't make the play, get away from it.
19-0. Iowa leads it. A little less than 7 minutes to go in the first half. Vlasic back to throw on first down. Has Smith at the 30. Terry Sheffy right there to make sure he goes no further. Now let's take a look at a star of the past, and there's a familiar name from Iowa State, Matt Blair, linebacker, Minnesota Vikings, 6-time Pro Bowler. A lot of good players have come through the Iowa State football program.
I played with a couple of them in Detroit.
It is a 2nd down, about 6 yards to go for a first down. Vlasic pitching out to Bayless. Bayless looking for running room on the near side. We get about 3 yards before he's forced out of bounds by Darren Trebe, a freshman linebacker out of Chicago.
Trebe did a good job, just strung it out. Rick Bayless was not able to cut it upfield.
Bayless now with 2 carries for 6 yards. He's a senior from Hugo, Minnesota.
Now he's getting a little running time today. Spelling Kevin Harmon.
They have 3 senior running backs who are very competitive trying to replace Ronnie Harmon. Kevin Harmon, Rick Bayless is in there now. And Kevin Ringer, another senior out of Dayton, Ohio.
Might take 3.
Hayden Fry has given Harmon and Bayless some playing time today, and we'll probably see Ringer before the day is through. 3rd down and 2. And again, they line up in that power I. This time, the give is to Richard Bass, and he's brought down by Chris Moore.
Now that was a good hit. Chris Moore really put the nails on, and he held them for less than what they need for the first down, and so Iowa will have to punt the ball.
They come up a yard shy of the necessary yardage. 4th down and a yard to go. Castrobala checks back in. Jeff Dole goes deep for Iowa State. They've got penalty markers down all over the field. Dole back at about the 27-yard line, or the 17-yard line rather, gets it out to about the 22. Dave Murphy on the tackle for Iowa. Now let's see what all these penalty flags are about. 45-yard kick.
It's against Iowa. Iowa State, excuse me, against Iowa State. Too many men on the field. I think that's what the call is.
That could be very costly.
Yes, it could. Iowa will retain possession.
They call Mark Vlasic back out. Too many men on the field, I believe, is the call. I'm pretty sure it is. And so referee Sam Maphis talks it over while Jim Kreiner looks on, very discouraged look on his face.
Well, this game sort of settled down into a pretty strong defensive game right now. You know, things were happening for a short time there. But now the Iowa State team makes a mistake like this, and it's going to be very difficult for them to come back against Iowa.
Too many men on the field against Iowa State. And moves the ball out to midfield.
They call that illegal participation. It's hard for me to get out. That's just too many men on the field.
That's exactly what it is. 5 minutes and 21 seconds remaining in the half. It's a first down now for the Hawkeyes. Iowa leading in 19-0.
Great break for the Hawkeyes.
Hudson and Bayless, the running backs now behind Mark Vlasic. Hudson, the ball carrier. He's in an excellent first half. Look at the power of David Hudson. All the way down to the 35-yard line.
15-yard game. Just that great effort. He's got 15 carries now for 93 yards. He's approaching the 100-yard mark. Watch this nice hole block. That's good blocking out there. Number 61, Dave Croston. But of course, that David Hudson, with that extra effort, picks up the 15 yards and a first down for Iowa.
Aaron Manning finally brought him down for Iowa State. And the Cyclones are going to use their last time out of the first half here. It is another first down for Iowa with 5:11 to go in the half. They're at the Iowa State 35.
Iowa leading now 19-0, 5:11. If they get this one in, I mean, it could be Katie bar the door.
Iowa going for their 4th straight win in this series.
I'm really surprised at this Iowa team because they look very, very strong here very early in the season, and they should be improving. As a matter of fact, Hayden Fry said yesterday, you may see this team improve as the game goes on, not only today but throughout the whole season.
The last time Iowa State won one of these games was right here at Kinnick Stadium back in 1982. When Iowa State won it 19-7, but the last 3 years and going on to this 4th year, it looks like Iowa's really dominated things.
You know, Hayden Fry, his 8 years here, he's 4-4 against Iowa State.
Iowa fans have to be very encouraged because it is very easy to look at the long list of top name players that left the football program after last year's successful season.
I mentioned to you before, the guys who played with the Detroit Lions was Tommy Vaughn and Tommy Watkins, a couple of my friends back in Detroit.
First down for Iowa, play resuming with 5:11 to go. The give is to Bayless, and Bayless up the middle will get about 2 yards before John Sinifro made the stop for Iowa State. Bayless now with 3 carries, good for 9 yards.
I think Hayden Fry just wants to do an awful lot of testing now. He's got a nice little comfortable lead. Puts in his second string tailback, Rick Bayless, and gives him a little bit of room to maneuver and gives some of his guys a little bit of experience.
Second down and 8 at the Iowa State 33.
It looks like an audible.
Vlasic back to throw. The pass is complete to Mark Missouri, sophomore out of Park Ridge, Illinois. Terrence Anthony making the stop for Iowa State.
That's called a quick turnout. Mark Vlasic just gets the ball. You'll watch it here on the screen. Mark Vlasic gets the ball quickly. The quick turnout to Mark Missouri. And it's close to a first down. He picks up about 5 yards. It's just a ball control type throw.
Third down and 3 now.
It puts him in good position, though. You always love to be in this position, 3rd down and 3.
The ball on the 28-yard line. Vlasic faking the handoff. Penalty markers go down. Vlasic goes down as well. Back at the 44-yard line.
Probably a holding call. That's what it usually is by the referee back there. It is holding against Iowa, but he's tackled back there anyway, so I'm sure that Iowa State will refuse.
You see Jim Kreiner saying exactly that. Turn that baby down.
He listened to me. I think I got a straight one right down to him. 16-yard loss on the play. That's the first time that the Cyclones have gotten to Mark Vlasic. As a matter of fact, it's the first time they've gotten close to him today.
The sack made by Robert Dabney, that junior college transfer from Triton Junior College. He was moved into this program and earned a starting spot right away. So now it's a 4th down, 19 yards to go for the first down.
Marv Cook probably will come in to kick. That's who it is.
The ball inside the 50. That's when Cook handles the punting. Costrubella does it the rest of the time. There's the boot by Cook. Jeff Dole lets it go into the end zone. It'll be brought out to the 20-yard line. That's where Iowa State will put it in play. A 44-yard boot by Marv Cook. So the clock stops with 4:16 remaining in quarter number 2. There's your score. Iowa leading by 19. This is Super Football Saturday on Turner Network Television.
Where can you find lean, tender, and flavorful meat like this? And at a surprisingly low price? That's right.
4 minutes, 16 seconds remaining in the first half. We are back at Kinnick Stadium. Iowa State has the ball. Ron Kramer along with Pete Van Wieren with you from Iowa City. And the Cyclones trying to get something started here. Espinoza has a man open across the 40-yard line, but it's incomplete. Joe Henderson was the open man. Kyle Crow back in the coverage.
You know, Espinoza's still paying for it. Every time he throws, somebody's on top of him, somebody's hitting him, somebody's rushing him. Very difficult for him to make any big plays or to complete any big passes.
This is an important possession for Iowa State. They could maybe turn the momentum around a little bit in this ball game.
Yeah, if they could get something going. Yeah. Even if it's moving the ball.
You saw what a difficult time of it Espinoza's been having. Only 3 out of 14. Joe Henderson brought down by George Davis after a gain of about 3 yards.
Davis doing a good job at that middle linebacker spot.
Henderson, a sophomore out of Chicago, good size, 6 feet 200 pounds. 5 carries for 10 yards for Joe Henderson.
Nobody on that Iowa State team is really doing much of anything today. We'll see the statistics at halftime. There's 3:39 left here in the first half.
3rd down and 6. And a whistle.
We'll see movement in that offensive line. That'll be against Iowa State. Those linemen must get down, must put their hand on the ground, and they must keep it there. At first, all they have to do is move it up, and it's encroachment. Illegal procedure. The Iowa fans having a little bit of fun today, kid.
Well, once again, a very ill-timed penalty here for Iowa State. They had a 3rd down and 6. Now it'll be 3rd down and 11. There you see the difference in penalties. Iowa has an advantage in every phase of the game so far. So now it's 3rd and 11. Espinoza under pressure, trying to evade it. Can't find an open man, runs out of bounds. Excellent coverage by Iowa all the way around there. They had pressure on the quarterback, and they had every receiver covered.
And they had the blitz going. Lost 4 yards on the play. Alex Espinoza for Iowa State. This poor guy, he's running for his life. Watch this guy. He's right out of the pocket. There's no way he can see anything developing anymore. Good blitz.
Mike Burke, number 5. John Breeze, number 57. The two that applied the pressure that time. Rick Frank with another punt. This one coming to Smith right at midfield. Robert Smith gets about a yard into Iowa State territory, and Iowa gets the ball back. A 34-yard kick.
Good enough.
Anthony Hoskins on the tackle.
Get on, try to rest.
and some other scores. Number 8, Tennessee, leading by 2 over Mississippi State in the second quarter. Clemson
Virginia
having problems.
Wow.
Here it is 19-0 Iowa.
Iowa with the ball again. 3:12 left to go here in the first half.
The Hawkeyes. Mark Vlasic handing off to Hudson. Look at the running room he has. Inside the 35, inside the 30, all the way down to the 26-yard line.
Hudson now over 100 yards.
Anthony Huskins finally brought him down for Iowa State, but Hudson had all kinds of running room that time.
A 30-yard gain.
16 carries for 130 yards now for David Hudson.
What a day he's having. Great big hole up there by that offensive line.
This is Kevin Ringer. We told you about him a moment ago. There's a flag down. Ringer gets to about the 15-yard line.
That'll be holding.
Dennis Gibson making the tackle, number 57 for Iowa State. Ringer, one of those 3 senior running backs we told you about.
That'll be a holding against David Hudson. Maybe he was a little tired after that last run, and he just sort of hung on to that defensive linebacker. What a good run by Ringer. Can't talk about it. You really can't talk about those very much because of the penalties against you. It just really doesn't even go in the books.
So this one will be stepped off against the Hawkeyes. It'll come back.
Hayden Pride told me he was going to bring in a Ringer today. You know that, don't you?
He just did.
There's Hayden. He's got a lot up his sleeve. That's holding against Iowa.
So it's now 1st and 20. At the 36-yard line. 2 minutes 44 seconds remaining in the first half.
Calling an audible.
Vlasic with a straight drop. Has time to throw again. Morrow, the man, is the intended receiver, and he was interfered with.
No doubt in my mind.
Brian Refner, number 18.
Brian just never did look around for the ball, and he ran into the receiver. And you can see it. Watch this ISO now on number 47, Jim Morrow. Ran right straight down the field, and there he is down there, number 18, Brian Refner. Never looked back at the ball, and it's a good call by the referee, and it'll be a first down.
So another penalty against Iowa State. And they have been hurt by that, as well as the strength of the Iowa offense and defense in this first half.
That comes from the line of scrimmage. And it will be 15 yards, 15 big ones, against the Iowa State Cyclones.
So the ball will be moved to the 20-yard line.
But you saw how much time Mark Vlasic had to throw the ball. He threw the ball 55 yards down the field. It takes you 5-6 seconds to run that far.
Jim Kreiner has lost that smile that he had yesterday when we talked to him.
Wouldn't you?
First down, 10 yards to go from the 20. Vlasic gets rid of it, and it's caught by Hudson. Chris Moore brought him down. So Hudson showing another element of his game. He can catch the ball, too.
Little outlet like Ronnie Harmon last year. Could catch the ball, could run it, could block, do everything. And they're really relying this year on David Hudson. Of course, they well should. He's got over 130 yards already tonight.
He gained 3 yards on that last reception. At halftime, we'll take a look at both marching bands. We'll have a feature on Akron Zips coach Jerry Faust, and of course highlights from our first half. On the reverse, Smith is going to throw it. Touchdown! Jim Morrow on the receiving end. Robert Smith on the throwing end.
That's the old wide receiver. Option, pass or run. Jim Morrow ball was open. They fooled the defense. Wide open in the end zone. 6 points. Iowa Hawkeyes, and the Hawkeye fans are happy today. 25-0. The Hawkeyes lead the Cyclones.
And Rob Houtland will try to make it 26. He does.
Like Hayden Fry said yesterday, no tricks. We're just going to play straight football.
He wasn't telling you the whole truth. Watch this play again.
He does fool just a little bit. Here's the handoff now to number 2, Robert Smith. And down in the end zone is Jim Morrill, wide open. Good throw, good catch, 6 points, extra point, good. It is 6 points. Here he comes. Here he comes now. Robert Smith. He's coming around. The handoff by David Hudson, and the pass downfield. Good. Oh, that was just good execution.
And with 1:40 remaining now in the first half, it is 26-0 Hawkeyes.
That's the kind of play that the Cyclones needed.
And Iowa will kick the ball off to Iowa State one more time. Well, the Hawkeyes very, very impressive in this first half. There were a lot of question marks about just how strong they would be this year after losing so many talented players a year ago, but they are showing that they were last year a lot deeper than people thought.
Multi-talented they are. And of course, you have to look at Hayden Fry. He's one of the finest coaches in the history of Iowa. As a matter of fact, if he wins today, he will be the winningest coach in Iowa's history.
So another Iowa kickoff coming up.
He and Evashevski both have won 52 games. I'm sure that Forrest Evashevski in Petoskey, Michigan is watching this football game.
George Murphy, the sophomore, will do the kicking. Jeff Dole awaits the kickoff. Dole takes it at the 3-yard line. Good return by Dole up across the 30-yard line out to about the 32 before he's finally brought down. Brad Quast, that freshman, again in on the stop.
3 plays, 48 yards, minute and 32 seconds. Kept off by a little old trickster. Wide receiver around, Robert Smith to Jim Morrow in the end zone.
And with 1:33 remaining, Alex Espinoza back out to try to get the Cyclones going. You can see the kind of afternoon he's had so far. And much of it due to the pressure applied by the defense of Iowa. First down at the 32. Henderson, the ball carrier. Picked up a couple of yards, that's all.
I think maybe he wants to go in only 26 points behind and say, all right, fine, kids, let's regroup, see if we can come out here in the second half and play.
And some backup defensive players now getting a chance for Hayden Fry's Iowa team. That last tackle made by Tyrone Taylor, who backs up Dan Worth on the right side in the linebacking core. Second down and 8. The clock moving just over a minute to go in the first half. Espinoza has pressure applied again. Flags are down. He lost the football. Fell on it at the 25-yard line. Steve Thomas.
They'll have motion. 2 men were moving at the same time. The fullback and the tight end were in motion. It will be against Iowa State. But they'll probably refuse it because Espinoza had to down the ball with that great pressure of that Iowa defense.
And we've seen that pressure applied all afternoon long. That time it was Steve Thomas, a senior backup nose guard at Lincoln, Nebraska.
I think a lot of the doubts in people's minds about this Iowa Hawkeye team have been taken care of this afternoon.
It's been really almost a mistake-free first half played by Iowa. The penalty is declined because of the loss of yardage, so the ball will be in the 25-yard line.
Their execution's been great today, both offensively and defensively.
Third down and 17. 40 seconds remaining in the first half. The handoff is to Andrew Jackson. And again, no running room at all. Gaining maybe a yard. When Iowa's run the football, they've averaged 5 or 6 yards per carry. When Iowa State's run the football, they've averaged a yard or 2 at best.
At best. Timeout, Iowa. They're coming after them.
There are 18 seconds remaining in the first half. Iowa would like to get their hands on the football one more time.
Well, you go for the block kick. That's a big play in football. Offenses and defense are really essential in football, but so is the special teams. You have punting, you have kickoffs, and you have all of these plays that are made, and you can score on any one of them.
Rick Frank, who has kicked the ball very well for Iowa State today. He's had some long ones. About to try another one. Robert Smith, the deep man for Iowa, and he is fighting that sun a little bit right now. Looking right into it. Another good kick by Frank. Smith at the 38. Pretty good return. He got inside the 50, out of bounds at about the 47-yard line. 7 seconds remaining. Tim Baker of Iowa State forced him out. 38-yard kick, a 14-yard return. So now Iowa back on the field with 7 seconds remaining. We'll see what they do here. They lead it 26-0. Will they fire it up for grabs in his last play, or will they just fall on it, Ron?
I'm not going to predict anything Hayden Fry's doing, because he fibs to me just a little bit.
We will see what Hayden Fry does with 7 seconds to go in the first half and a 26-point lead.
Looks like he's got a double wing out there. He's going to throw it up.
It sure
That's
does.
what he's going to do.
Vlasic back, firing up the middle. It is caught by the tight end Mike Flagg, and he'll go down at the 26-yard line. A penalty marker has been thrown back near the point of release by Mark Vlasic.
The half's over anyway.
Mike Flagg, a big tight end, 6'6", 244. He's out of Cedar Falls, Iowa.
Well, there's 2 flags on the play. One caught the ball and one in the backfield for holding.
Well, the holding penalty will be declined as the half has come to an end. And the Iowa fans at Kinnick Stadium are on their feet as the Hawkeyes head for their dressing room with a halftime lead of 26-0 over Iowa State. We're back at Kinnick Stadium in Iowa City. Pete Van Weren along with Ron Kramer, and it's been all Iowa to this point, 26-0. The Hawkeyes leading the Cyclones at halftime in a first half round that was totally dominated by Iowa, both offensively and defensively.
Very impressive Iowa offense with Mark Vlasic, and throwing the ball to Jim Morrow and Robert Smith. They haven't even used their greatest tight end of all time, Mike Flagg, number 88, and they're moving the ball, but on the ground. That good blocking up front by that offensive line, and Kevin Harmon moving the ball. But David Hudson, the one they're really counting on as hard as they can here in the second half, so they don't collapse totally and completely. And Iowa scores another 50 points against them.
It'll be Iowa kicking off.
In all categories, what you were saying, the Hawkeyes lead, and I think also in size. The Hawkeyes are a very big physical football team and have shown it in the line play today, both offensively and defensively.
Once again, George Murphy with the kickoff chores for Iowa, and Jeff Dole is deep for Iowa State. And we're underway with quarter number 3, a short kick. It's going to be handled by Andrew Jackson back at the 11-yard line. He'll get to about the 29 before he's forced out of bounds by George Davis.
Good field position for Iowa State to start here in the second half.
And this can be an important time in the game when you're down by 26 points. You have the ball, you get pretty good field position. If you're going to do anything offensively, it'd be a good time to get it going right now. If you don't, they can take all the wind out of your sails.
They will bury them if they don't get it going here quickly. And it's going to be up to Espinoza, because they're going to have to go back to their game plan and see if they can get some points on the scoreboard.
Espinoza completing only 3 out of 14 passes in the first half. And he begins the second half with a handoff to Joe Henderson.
Well, as I said, they went right back to their game plan. They're going to try to run the ball a little bit against the Iowa Hawkeyes. The Hawkeyes were coming so hard on Espinoza on every pass play. I mean, there's no way that he could ever complete a pass.
George Davis made that last tackle. He, too, has sparkled here defensively this afternoon. After a gain of 3 yards, it'll be second down. A little less than 7 yards to go for the first down. The ball at the 34-yard line. Espinoza back to throw. That was Andrew Jackson.
Look at how quickly that defense is out there on him. Big Richard Pryor. That's a little quick screen out to the right. They had a triple wing. Tried to throw it out there.
No yardage gain, so it's now 3rd down and 7. In fact, a loss of a yard there.
Matter of fact, you see what this Iowa defense has got him in position now. 3rd and 7 is it's a passing yardage. Now he's got to throw the ball, and Iowa can do just about anything defensively they want to.
3rd down 7. The ball at the 33. Espinoza looking downfield. Can't find an open receiver. He's going to try to run for the 1st down, and he'll come up about 3 yards short. Kerry Burt making the tackle for Iowa. And again, that time, not only was the pressure on Espinoza, but the receivers were well covered as well.
Espinoza played that ostrich trick. Got his head in the ground, get out of the way, because there were some people really coming at him. Kerry Burt almost tore his head off, but fortunately for Alex Espinoza, he got to the ground quickly. It'll be a 4th down, and Iowa holds again with only 6 yards gained for Iowa State.
And Rick Frank in to do the kicking. Robert Smith back awaiting the kick. Frank gets another good kick away. He's been one very bright spot. Smith almost lost that ball. Very quick recovery there by Robert Smith after a 32-yard kick.
Boy, they're hard to catch when it's right in the sun. But of course, Robert Smith kept it in front of him that time. And he just takes his eye. Look at he's got it in the sun there. He has it in his hands, but kept it in front of him and wisely jumped on it very quickly. And it'll be Iowa's ball again on the 31-yard line. 32-yard kick by Iowa State.
Hayden Fry begins quarter number 3 with the same unit that played most of the 1st half. Vlasic handing off to Hudson. Hudson, tough to bring down, isn't he? Brian Reffner applied the final hit there for Iowa State.
Well, Rick Bayless is getting a little more play here in the 3rd period.
Hudson now with
tailback.
18 carries for 122 yards.
Pretty good day already, and it's only the 1st half. 67,700. 35th consecutive sellout. I think I said 40 at the beginning. I think I read that someplace.
After a 3-yard gain, 2nd down and 7. Just underway in quarter number 3. Vlasic has time again. Firing long downfield for Smith. He's got him inside the 20-yard line. Aaron Manning making the tackle, but a perfectly thrown ball by Mark Vlasic and a great reception by Robert Smith.
Oh, so much time back there for Mark Vlasic. He just set up, let Robert Smith run right down. Here's an ISO on Robert Smith. He ran an out and an up, and he beat Aaron Manning so badly. And the ball was perfectly thrown again by Vlasic, and a big gainer for 50 yards and a 1st down on the 17-yard line for Iowa.
So Iowa trying to get on the board again early in the 3rd quarter. Vlasic handing to Hudson, and for one of the few times today, Hudson can't find any running room. Big Bill Bertheson, senior right tackle out of Marshalltown, Iowa, 6'5", 285 pounds.
He's a big one, and he finally made some penetration. It was a little handoff to Hudson. What a delayed handoff to Hudson. Trying to get it up the middle. A block was missed on Bertheson, and it's going to be 2nd down and 13 yards.
The ball on the 20-yard line. Vlasic with time again. The pass incomplete. Smith, the intended receiver. Terrence Anthony back there in the coverage. A penalty marker is down. Back near the spot where the ball was thrown.
Those are usually holding penalties against the offense. And it probably will be against Iowa, and is.
That's been about the only thing that's gone wrong for Hayden Fry's troops today. They have been guilty of a few holding calls.
Boy, that's a real hard play to call, because you can use your hands so much now. Here's the holding at the top of your screen. Watch the flag come in there. So it's a penalty against Iowa.
Iowa plays here again next week. They'll be facing Northern Illinois.
We're going to have a 2nd down and 23 at the 30-yard line now.
Iowa penalized 10 yards holding.
Had quite a few holding penalties against Iowa, as you mentioned.
That's been really the only blot on their performance this afternoon.
Well, you're bound to get some here in the 1st game of the season.
Second down and 23. The ball at the 30-yard line. Vlasic handing straight ahead to Hudson. Hudson gets inside the 30 to about the 28. Chris Moore and Dennis Gibson making a stop for Iowa State.
You can still hear some pretty good hitting down there, can't you? Boy, I can feel it up here. They're still ravaging each other.
So Hudson moving the ball about a yard. It'll be third down now and 22.
The pace of the game has certainly slowed.
10:54 the time left in quarter number 3. The Cyclone spirit still there, as you saw. Vlasic back to throw. The pass is caught by the tight end, Marv Cook. Dennis Gibson.
One of those great tight ends they have. Marv Cook ran a little down and out pattern, and they're going to come in, try and kick a field goal. 8-yard gain. Put them back in position to get 3 points on the scoreboard. And they got one of the good placements. Rob Houtland is a great field goal kicker. Last year, we mentioned before, he won 2 big games for Iowa in the last second.
This will be a 37-yard attempt by Houtland. And he is 3 for 3. One from 32 yards, one from 46 yards, this one from 37 yards. Time out on the field, 10:38 remaining in quarter number 3. It is now the Hawkeyes of Iowa 29. Iowa State nothing. At Kinnick Stadium, and the Iowa fans, led by their cheerleading crew,
have a lot to cheer about.
They really are having a good time out here.
Well, so is this football team. The football team's playing just as well as Hayden Fry said they would. He said he's got a good football team, and he's confident that they're going to win a lot of football games this year, and they're going to surprise a lot of people, even though they lost many of their All-Americans last year.
George Murphy will be kicking off for Iowa. Again, Jeff Dole, the deep man for Iowa State.
We got our old pal up here, Jeff Elliott, from the Big Ten. He takes care of TV and promotions. Welcome, Jeffrey.
Here's the boot by Murphy. Kind of a line drive kick this time. Taken at about the 10-yard line by Dole. Good return up across the 30 to about the 31-yard line. Jim Riley, number 95, a backup linebacker who plays on special teams, making the stop for Iowa.
Boy, these kids are still hitting hard, partner. Even though Iowa State's losing 29-0, they're still putting out some effort. But the only thing is, this Iowa team is just so talented, they just can't compete with them today.
First down just across their own 31. Espinosa's pass almost intercepted by Kerry Burt, number 3.
Boy, it's just nothing is going to go right for them. You made mention of something yesterday to me, though, that when we met with this Iowa State football team, they just didn't look confident enough to play this football game. And, you know, I sometimes wonder how you can see these things. You sort of sensed that, didn't you?
We talked about it coming back from Cedar Rapids, where the Iowa State team was staying. The kids almost seemed a little frightened about this ball game.
I couldn't see that, but of course you did, and looks like today maybe they are.
It is second down and 10. Espinosa rolling right, and there's that pressure again. The pass incomplete, and the reason, the pressure applied this time by Jeff Drost, number 76. He's been back in Alex Espinosa's eyes all day long.
Oh, poor Alex Espinosa. Espinosa's unbelievable. There's Drost. Watch him come through the line. Look at how quickly he gets off the line. Gets rid of his man in front of him, Brett Lawrence, and comes down on Alex Espinosa. And Alex threw the ball, but I'll tell you what, he paid for it. That's tough defense.
And you saw the quickness of Jeff Drost, who is 6'5", 286 pounds. Add quickness to that.
But Hayden Fry says he takes just little steps. They call him little step, not big step.
Third down and 10. The handoff is to Jackson. Jackson trying for that first down. Gets close. He may have it. Kerry Burt making the stop for Iowa.
All depends on where the referee puts it. It's going to be very close.
That was one of the better gains of the day for Iowa State. Andrew Jackson, the senior tailback out of Los Angeles, who began his career at El Camino Junior College.
Might be the only gain of the day, as a matter of fact. Running the ball anyway.
We have a moment right now. Let's pause 5 seconds for station identification.
KCRG TV9, Cedar Rapids, Waterloo.
Back at Kinnick Stadium, they're going to measure to see if Iowa State picked up the first down. They just made it. Only the 4th first down of the day for the Cyclones.
Well, Alex Espinoza is still enthused about this football game. He came up there and was very closely inspecting whether they did get that first down or not. Of course, he's the one who's going to have to get them started. We keep mentioning this. Espinoza had a good year last year, but of course, right now, the Iowa football team is just dominating.
10 minutes remaining, third quarter. It's 29-0 Iowa. Espinoza back to throw. The pressure applied again. He escapes it this time. Can't find an open receiver, and 4 Hawkeyes there to bring him down. Jeff Drost was one of them. Joe Mott, number 97, another.
Good pressure again.
And what's really impressed me, Ron, besides the pressure Iowa's been applying all day, when Espinoza does get out of the pressure, he can't find a receiver open.
Well, he's just running for his life. If you're running for your life with these big guys, 6'8", like Jeff Drost and people like that, and Richard Pryor, my goodness, I mean, nobody can be open. I mean, he just wants to get downfield someplace.
Second down and 9. Handing off to Andrew Jackson. Jackson got to about the 44 before who else? Jeff Drost brought him down.
Well, Jeff is really doing a great job of controlling that offensive line of the Cyclones. He's just coming on every play and getting great penetration.
He was all Big Ten, Jeff Drost was, as a junior. He seems almost assured of repeating that this year. And maybe some higher honors than that.
Oh, yeah. He has that quality.
Third down and 6. The ball just shy of the Iowa State 45. Espinoza with a little time. Not much, though. Steve Thomas, senior nose guard out of Lincoln, Nebraska. Number 52. He got by for the sack that time.
Just another blitz by Iowa. Big defensive play. 10-yard loss. Watch them now. Here they come. Everybody. Drost.
So that'll bring Rick Frank back into the ball game to punt. Robert Smith back awaiting it at about his own 26-yard line. Frank gets another good kick away. Robert Smith hit as he tried to field the ball. You'll see a penalty marker fall. That was Jeff Dole, number 41, who arrived along with the football.
Just a little too quickly. That's that Iowa defense. They're still enthused about what they're doing. Good tackle on the last play by Steve Thomas, number 52, talking about how he got away from his offensive guard and made the play against Alex Espinoza for the sack.
But do you notice how much more relaxed things are now in the early part of the third quarter than they were early in the first quarter when it was quite intense down there?
Well, you weren't here yesterday because when we were taking headshots of this Iowa team, Hayden Fry really had them loose, and every one of them was smiling in front of the camera, and he'd say, okay, now I want you to smile for your mother back at home.
First down.
And everybody, one right after the other, just smiled for Hayden Fry, and he says, I want you to have fun tomorrow, and it looks like they're really having a lot of fun today.
And there's a guy not having a whole lot of fun right now. Jim Kreiner.
Nope. You
never like to start this way, but that's the way it's begun for the Cyclones. We'll be right back. This is Super Football Saturday on Turner Network Television. It is 29-0. Iowa leading Iowa State, and Iowa after the penalty for the fair catch interference has the ball at their own 49-yard line. Up to about the 45 of Iowa State. Richard Bass, the sophomore fullback, in there now for David Hudson. Brought down by Chris Moore. The man after whom this stadium is named, Niall Kinnick, Heisman Trophy winner back in 1939.
One of the 2 numbers retired here at Iowa. Who is the other one?
Oh, you're going to get me on that one.
Calvin Jones.
Okay, 45-yard line. Second down, 4 yards to go for the Hawkeyes.
You thought I was just a pretty face, huh?
No, I never thought that. Vlasic back to throw. And it is intercepted. Dennis Gibson still on his feet, out of bounds at the Iowa 42-yard line. Right into the Iowa bench goes Dennis Gibson.
Plenty of time for Mark Vlasic to throw the ball. He just misthrown it. Dennis Gibson standing right there.
And that is the first turnover of the day for Iowa.
For Iowa, yes. And look at all the time he's got. He's looking. He throws out here, throws it behind his receiver, Robert Smith, and was standing right there was Dennis Gibson, and he gets a big break for those Iowa State Cyclones. 7:06 left here in the third period. Plenty of time. I don't think they're going to win, but I'll tell you what, they could really make a game of it if they get some points on the scoreboard.
Well, let's see if they can take advantage now of this turnover. The ball just inside the 40-yard line. First down for the Cyclones. Espinoza back to throw on first down. He unloads it, and it is caught at the 25-yard line. Ken Sims brings down Robbie Minor. They're going to spot it at the 24. It's a first down for the Cyclones.
And he paid for it again, Alex Espinoza, after he threw the ball. Big John Breeze threw him to the ground. Even though it was a good completion, they had the blitz on. But finally, Alex Espinoza gets the ball out there, and it's a first down for the Iowa State Cyclones.
And the Cyclones have moved the ball a little bit better in the second half. 6 minutes, 50 seconds to go, third quarter. Espinoza on first down with a deep drop. His pass is caught for a gain of about 4 yards. Hughes Suffren, the receiver. Mike Burke making the stop. Suffren, a junior, split end from Banner Springs, Kansas.
84, here he comes right across the field. He looks at his other player, almost ran into his other end.
Hughes Suffren, the junior from Bonner Springs, Kansas, with a gain of 4 yards at second down, 6. At the Iowa 20. The handoff to Jackson, looking for running room, won't find much. Richard Pryor, big number 99 out of Elizabeth, New Jersey, got in there to make the tackle after a loss of about a yard.
This will be a big play for the Iowa State Cyclones. Third down and 7 yards to go. If they can get this first down, they get 7 points in here. I mean, they could make a game of this.
Third down and 7. 9 carries for 23 yards now for Andrew Jackson. And here comes a third down play for the Cyclones. Espinoza handing off to Henderson. Mike Burke stayed with him. Mike Burke, the defensive right end from Davenport, Iowa. It looked for a moment like he was going to be blocked out on the play, but he just shed that blocker and made the tackle.
Boy, he did a good job. They tried to sweep off tackle, and there's no way they're going to get around Mike Burke. Big plays defensively again. Iowa making every one of them.
Well, Iowa State trying to get on the scoreboard now. Rick Frank will attempt the field goal from the 32-yard line. This will be a 42-yard attempt. He missed his earlier attempt from 52 yards. And this one is no good. So the Hawkeye fans continue to cheer for their defense, which so far has shut down Iowa State totally.
Even when they make a big play, they can't get any points on the scoreboard.
In Iowa City, it's 29-0 Iowa. The missed field goal gives the Hawkeyes the ball back at the 25-yard line.
But again, the defense made the big play. It was third down and 7. They made a big play. Number 52 or number 5, Mike Burke.
Vlasic, who's had a good day in his first start for Iowa. Handing off on first down. Number 23, Richard Bass, who's in there now for David Hudson. He's a sophomore from Omaha, Nebraska, 5'9", 210. Brought down by number 5, Kevin Collins.
Hayden Fry may want to make his kids tough now and say, okay, you're going to run the ball no matter what.
And Bass getting some experience out there today. 3 carries now for 27 yards. So out of that fullback spot, Hudson and Bass have combined for close to 150 yards.
Not bad, huh?
And there's still a lot of time left in this game. 4 minutes plus remaining in the third quarter. This time, Kevin Ringer, the ball carrier. Darren Tree brought him down. Ringer, 5'9", 190-pound senior out of Dayton, Ohio.
They all seem to run just alike, don't they? He's got a lot of depth this year again.
It is now 3rd down and 4. Now, you can't be sleeping at a time like this.
No,
Thank
she's
you.
not sleeping. Wake up, little Susie.
3rd down and 4. At their own 31-yard line. Vlasic going to throw on 3rd down. The man is wide open, and the completion is made to number 87, Travis Watkins. And let's focus on him for a while. 87, Travis Watkins is a freshman from Claremont, California, where he was a teammate of one of the most sought-after quarterbacks in the nation, Dan McGuire, who also is here at Iowa.
And watch this play right here. Travis Watkins running a drag-out pattern, cleared out by Jim Morrill, and it's a perfectly thrown ball by Mark Vlasic for the first down the sideline. I like the way this young freshman, 18 years old, ran his pattern. He was down off the ball quick, got down, made a good square cut out.
It's a first down at the Iowa State 47. Vlasic seemingly growing more and more confident as this game goes on. Fires long downfield. He got it. Jim Morrow. His 3rd touchdown of the afternoon.
A pass to number 47. Jim Morrill for 47 yards. Another great catch, another great throw by Mark Vlasic. But again, we must emphasize, look at that offensive line. He's got plenty of time to pump and then throw the ball. And watch Morrill get under the ball and just make a great catch in the end zone for 6 points.
It is now 35-0, and Hayden Fry is smiling.
As well he should. Score 36-0, 3:24 left in the first half.
The extra point good by Rob Houtman. Iowa continues to roll. 3 minutes and 24 seconds remaining now in the 3rd quarter.
Just remember one thing, we got a whole nother quarter to go.
It's 6. And there's Bruce Gear again. Number 94.
Jeff Trost. Everybody's across that line of scrimmage. A masterful game by the Iowa Hawkeyes today.
So that brings up a 4th down and about 11.
Hayden Fry can be very proud of all of his Hawkeyes.
Rick Frank again into the kicking. And Robert Smith is deep. Frank gets the kick away, heading toward the end zone. And that's where it'll land. So it'll come out to the 20-yard line. 41-yard kick by Frank. And only a 21-yard net as it comes out to the 20.
Iowa will take over again. They got a lot of their 2nd and 3rd stringers in now.
Alabama having surprising difficulty with Southern Miss early. Tennessee is pulled ahead of Mississippi State. They were trailing early in the game. Georgia with a 3-0 lead over Duke. And that game in the 3rd quarter.
That's a surprise.
Clemson being upset right now by Virginia Tech late. Hartlieb handing off to Bayless. No running room for Bayless this time. Dennis Gibson was right there. A loss of a yard. Bayless now with 5 carries for 8 yards.
We are not going to see very much in the line of great football right now because we're going to have 3rd stringers in here. But we're going to see what Hayden Fry is going to try to do for his future.
Hartlieb, a junior out of Illinois, back to throw, and he found his man. Pat Coppinger, a senior from Kansas City, Missouri. Aaron Manning.
Coppinger on a down and out, 10 yards. Hartlieb hit him perfectly. First down, Iowa.
The Hawkeyes almost at will today have moved the ball. They did turn it over a couple of times, which stopped drives, but very few of their drives have been stopped by Iowa State.
Well, they've just so dominated the line play, offensively and defensively, that Iowa State has not been able to move at all.
First down at their own 31. Hartley handing off. The ball carrier is Grant Goodman. And Grant Goodman gets to the 45-yard line. He's a junior from West Des Moines. 6'2", 225-pounder. Brian Reffner finally brought him down. And Goodman's first carry of the afternoon proves to be a big one.
Goodman bounced off outside of that line, and he picked up 24 yards. Watch him bounce off the tackler there. He doesn't have great speed. If he had great speed, he would have been gone. Goodman, of course, picks up 24 yards and a first down for Iowa. Good tackle by Brian Reffner. Caught up with him, and it's Iowa 1st and 10 on the 46-yard line of Iowa State.
13.5 minutes remaining in the game. Iowa leading it 36-0 and moving with their second unit here. Hartley back to throw. Throwing up the middle, intended for Steve Green. Kevin Colon back there in the coverage.
Almost one of those great sensational catches by Steve Green. Steve Green's a 6'2" wide receiver.
I'll tell you what point we've reached in this football game right now. Every broadcaster makes out a depth chart, either 2 or 3 deep, listing all the players who might play. We're going to put the depth chart aside. They're starting to bring in some people now.
This is what makes it fun, partner. We'll get them all in, though, because I'm sure a lot of their mothers are watching.
I'm sure they are. Second down at 10 at the 46-yard line. Rick Bayless up to the 43-yard line. Anthony Hoskins in there to make the stop. I gotta wonder, let me ask you one question right now about the Jeff Braswell situation. The middle linebacker, who was a second-team Big 8 player last year, ruled ineligible before today's game. What can that do to the heart of a football team?
Well, I think, number one, they have been noted as a defensive team, and when you're playing the 4-3 defense, that middle linebacker, and Braswell was a good one, can be the, I mean, he calls all the defense. He's the captain. He's the guy that does everything.
So that leader. That got the Iowa State day off on the wrong foot before the game ever began. 3rd down and 7. Hartley back to throw. And he completes it to Steve Green. Aaron Manning back there on the coverage.
Again, Steve Green going downfield, a little turnout. Nice job.
Gain of about 4 yards.
Puts him in good position. 3rd down and 1. Clock continuing to run. Iowa leading 36-0. 12 minutes and 10 seconds left in this football game.
It is a 4th down and 1. And we'll see if Hayden Fry decides to go for it. Looks like he is.
My mistake, partner. Thought it was a 3rd.
So he's been successful twice in this situation today. Now he tries to gain that big yard again on 4th down. Hartley is going to keep it. He has got the first down to the 32-yard line.
Quarterback option.
Anthony Hoskins making the tackle.
He's calling every play. That's something new for an Iowa quarterback. I don't think they've run the option here for the last 7 or 8 years with the Chuck Longs and the Mark Vlasics.
So it's another Iowa first down. At the Iowa State 32, 11.5 minutes remaining in the game. The Hawkeyes driving again, leading at 36-0. Hartley hands it off to Bayless. Bayless inside the 30. He's gone.
All she wrote. "32-yard touchdown." Good blocking up front. Rick Bayless couldn't find the hole in the middle, broke to the outside, and with good speed got into the end zone. Iowa now leads 42-0. Good cutback. You see that cutback there? Marvelous cutback. With good speed into the end zone, touchdown.
That was Aaron Manning that almost got him, but got there just a shade late. Now Rob Huffman will try to make it 43. And he does. 11 minutes, 19 seconds remaining in the game, and it's 43-0 Iowa. This is Super Football Saturday on Turner Network Television.
mine. If something works, I stay with it. And it goes back to the days when I was obligated to milk 7 or 8 cows in the morning before I could come in for breakfast. And one morning I'd milk the old black and white cow and didn't fill up my pail, and I put it down on the porch. I started in to get my breakfast. My father saw me and he said, Hayden, he said, which cow did you milk? And I said, well, I milked that old black and white one over there. And he said, son, you didn't get all the milk. I said, yes, sir, I did. Well, he didn't say anything. He just reached down, picked up the pail, went over, got on the stool, commenced to squeeze, filled the pail, put it on the back porch. And I was about 10 years of age at the time, and I was standing there watching all this. And when he put the pail down full of milk, he grabbed me by the ear, and we marched through the barn. And on the way, he reached over and got the horsewhip. And we got out the back of the barn. He had me bend over, and he put a pretty good one on me. And when I straightened up, he said, son, he said, I want you to remember something. I want you to remember it the rest of your life. If you have something going good for you, squeeze it till it's dry.
Is he a beauty?
He's a storyteller, isn't he?
Oh, he's a beauty. I guarantee you that.
He's squeezing it dry today, isn't he? 43-0.
Look at that. 8 plays, 80 yards. 32-yard touchdown by Bayless. A good run by Bayless into the center and out to the outside.
George Murphy will kick off again. Jeff Dole awaiting it. Still 11 minutes and 19 seconds to go in this one. A short kick this time, fielded by Henderson. And he gets to about the 31. Penalty markers go down. Torque Hook making the stop.
Torque Hook? Well, that's a great name, ain't it?
And we'll see what the flags are all about.
Hayden will come up with the next one. He'll say, okay, get the hook. That might be what they're going to do to me shortly if I don't shut up. Well, Iowa just dominating this football game. It's against Iowa State again. A penalty. Clipping against Iowa State.
And the long afternoon continues for Jim Kreiner.
It's just pouring on Iowa State.
It's about a 2-hour and 15-minute bus ride back to Ames, Iowa, where Iowa State is located. That'll seem more like 4 hours and 15 minutes today.
Maybe like 3 days.
Clipping on the receivers. First down.
Well, we got the microphone fixed on the referee, too. 11:14 left in this football game. Iowa leading 43-0. Espinoza still in.
And they'll start the ball in play all the way back at their own 14-yard line. After the clipping penalty. It is complete to Jackson. Out to about the 22-yard line. Dwight Sistrunk, junior free safety out of Dayton, Ohio, making the stop.
We got some scores. Tennessee leading now in the 4th period over Mississippi State, 23-20. Virginia Tech 20, Clemson 14, a final. Army 16, Syracuse 14 at halftime. Navy 10, Virginia 7 in the 2nd period. That's just some of the scores. 43-0, Iowa leading Iowa State here.
Espinoza, after faking the handoff, back to throw. This one caught at the 35-yard line. Keaton Smiley there to make the tackle.
Smiley doesn't like it. He just got off of him a little bit. Nice little turn in. Well thrown by Alex Espinoza.
Hugh Suffren on the receiving end.
Suffren did a good job.
Espinoza beginning to move the team a little bit better in the second half, but still unable to get any points on the board.
Even against the 3rd and 4th stringers of Iowa.
First down at the 37-yard line. Espinoza with a deep drop. I don't know who that pass was intended for. There wasn't anybody out there eligible to receive it.
Well, it was intended for Keith Sims, number 69. He's a guard because Espinoza wanted to get rid of it. They were just coming on him. It was supposed to be a screen pass to the left, and what happened is the fullback got hooked up inside. One of the big linemen grabbed him, and he couldn't get away, so he had to get rid of the ball.
So it's 2nd down and 10. At the 37-yard line, Iowa with a 43-point lead. Robbie Minor comes out wide right. Suffren wide left. Espinoza handing off to Andrew Jackson. Jackson will pick up about 2 yards before Joe Schuster, a right tackle from Faribault, Minnesota, 6'5", 260-pounder. in there to make the stop. It'll be a 2-yard gain, 3rd and 8. 10 carries for 25 yards now for Andrew Jackson.
Commissioner of the Big Ten just stepped in with us, Wayne Duke. Wayne, welcome.
I was about to say a lot of Iowans are smiling proudly today, but perhaps none so much as the Commissioner Wayne Duke, who, of course, attended Iowa.
This one, not smiling on some of our other games being played today. Ohio State apparently down, losing a couple of fumbles to Washington.
There's a completion to Hughes Suffren. Suffren to about the 46-yard line. Well, you've got to be very pleased with the way that this football team has played today.
Certainly am, Pete. I think that Iowa is going to be a source to be reckoned with in the conference race. I think Hayden Fry has come along saying something about his team was so young and inexperienced, but it hasn't appeared to be that way at all.
You know what has impressed me about this ball club? All the preseason talk and all the preseason predictions that you hear, there were a lot of questions about the Iowa team. Did they have enough depth coming back from last year to pick up and replace 3 All-American players, which is a very, very difficult thing to do. But this team has dominated this game in every way today.
It certainly has. That Iowa defense hasn't permitted Iowa State to do a thing. Iowa would have something like 1 first down or so in the first half. I'm not certain just what it was, but
52 yards total offense.
52. That certainly has dominated this game without question.
And Vlasic certainly has filled in for Chuck Long.
That he has, and I guess this young freshman quarterback from the West Coast is supposed to be a very fine player too, and whether we'll see him today or not, of course, is very speculative.
Steve Thomas being helped off the field there as we talk with Wayne Duke, commissioner of the Big Ten, with 9.5 minutes to go in the game, and Iowa leading 43-0. Well, with the Iowa team playing like this, perhaps all of those who said it might be a 2-team race this year might have to reconsider.
Oh, I think that's without question, Pete. I think it's going to be a much more balanced race than anyone ever projected.
Espinoza back to throw on first down, firing deep, incomplete. Eddie Brown, the intended receiver. Keaton Smiley back in the coverage.
A little overthrown down there. He was open, though. Eddie Brown had a chance to make that catch. Of course, Iowa State certainly wants to get on the scoreboard before this football game is over, and there's 9 minutes and 13 seconds left to go in this football game.
Wayne Duke, one final question. As you look ahead to the Big Ten Conference this year, I guess you've got to be a very proud man, because once again it looks like it's going to be another record setter as far as attendance and everything else.
Absolutely. Our projections and our season ticket sales so that we'd have any number of sellouts and undoubtedly another national football attendance record.
And we get a whistle as the ball is snapped to Espinoza. Penalty marker down, 9:11 to go in the game. Iowa leading at 43-0. You saw that graphic a moment ago. It has been totally Iowa. And Wayne Duke, we thank you very much for stopping by. We're proud to be back with the Big Ten again.
We're proud to have you folks with us. We'll have good games for you all the way along the line.
Well, we're going to have them this week and next week, and of course the week after that. Wayne, we'll see you.
Wayne Duke, the commissioner of the Big Ten, joining us here.
Legal procedure on the offense. Still 2nd down.
It is now 2nd down, 15 yards to go. And the celebrating has begun by the Hawkeyes.
You can bet it.
Espinoza lining up out of that shotgun again. A bad snap, and Espinoza handles it, but now he has to scramble, firing it incomplete at midfield. That was Dwight Sistrunk over there in the coverage again. Number 22, the intended receiver, was Joe Henderson, who's back in there after being shaken up earlier.
Mike Burke right in there again, too. They're just rushing him so much, it's unbelievable.
So it'll now be 3rd and 15. Espinoza now 10 out of 27 for 100 yards, and most of that yardage has been picked up late in the ball game.
We got a 3rd down and 15.
Suffren comes out wide right this time with Robbie Minor wide left. Espinoza with a straight drop, firing long downfield for Robbie Minor. What a defensive play. Keaton Smiley, the sophomore from Duncanville, Texas, got the hand up in a perfectly timed play.
Oh, he just ran under it. Keaton Smiley did a great job of covering Eddie Brown, who was open. A well-thrown ball by Alex Espinoza, but another great defensive play.
by Iowa. Watch this play now. He's beat, and he just gets his hand up in order to knock the ball down. Smiley, a good play, and he's telling him, okay, baby, don't come out here and run against me again.
Rick Frank about to punt. Robert Smith awaiting it at about his own 12-yard line. A good high kick. They're going to let it go. This time it takes an Iowa bounce across the 20 into the arms of Dennis Gibson.
We got some people we'd like to thank, too, you know, for their cooperation. The president of Iowa State, Dr. Gordon Eaton, the athletic director, Max Eric, and the SID, Dave Stark.
It is 43-0 Iowa. Celebrating has already begun here in Iowa City. 43-0 Hawkeyes. Chuck Hartley been at quarterback. And the handoff is to Kevin Ringer. He's brought down by John Sinifro as he gets across the 25-yard line, a gain of about 3. It'll be 2nd down 7. 3 senior running backs trying to replace Ronnie Harmon. Brother Kevin, Rick Bayless, and Kevin Ringer all have seen playing time today and all have run the ball quite well.
We have another wide receiver in, too, Jay Hetz, number 15.
2nd down. Let's call it 6 yards to go for the 1st down. Hartley after the fake handoff. Firing downfield. Penalty markers are down. The catch was made by junior tight end Tom Ward, number 88. He's from right here in Iowa City.
That'll be holding against Iowa. So it will be 2nd down over again. Good catch. Got some more scores. Tennessee now in the 4th quarter losing to Mississippi State 27-23. That's a surprise. 17-0. Washington leading Ohio State in the 2nd period.
Georgia's pulling away now from Duke.
Well, we thought that was going to happen. The Bulldogs. North Carolina 17-0 over Kansas in the 3rd period. And Purdue 3, Ball State nothing at halftime. That's somewhat of a surprise, too.
Jeff George, the freshman who is the most highly recruited quarterback in the nation, starting that game for the Boilermakers today.
Hasn't thrown any touchdowns yet, has he?
We will see Purdue next week against Pittsburgh.
That should be a good football game.
7 minutes, 40 seconds remaining here. 43-0 Hawkeyes. It is 2nd down and 11. Chuck Hartley with a straight drop. Completes it to Marshall Cotton. Cotton, a senior fullback from Davenport, Iowa. Darren Trebe and Kevin Colon in on the stop. And Hayden Fry giving everybody a chance to play today.
Well, Chuck Hartley just went back, a screen to the right, and Marshall Cotton picked it up and very close to a 1st down. It will be 3rd and about a half a yard. So Iowa continues to dominate and move the ball.
In that 1st half, Jeff George of Purdue is 17 out of 28 for 140 yards. He has been intercepted twice.
Wow.
We just got that word on that Purdue Ball State game. Purdue leading at 3-0. 6:45 left here. 3rd down and 1. Hartley hands off to his fullback. It's another 1st down for Iowa. Marshall Cotton brought down by Terrence Anthony, but not until he easily picked up the 1st down.
Marshall Cotton almost broke it. Iowa State was in that short yardage defense, and if the fullback or the halfback breaks through, boy, I'll tell you, there's just nobody back there to stop him. Unfortunately.
So the Hawkeyes have a 1st down at their own 40-yard line. Trying to add to a 43-0 lead with a little over 6 minutes to go in the ball game. First down at the 40. Cotton again the ball carrier. This time no gain. Dennis Gibson and Don Edwards making the stop. The correction, Chris Moore. So Cotton with his 2nd carry. Now is a total of 6 yards. And the substitution continues freely here for Iowa.
Played an awful lot of young fellas today. But the one guy we haven't seen yet is the one from California, Claremont, Dan McGuire, that big quarterback.
I'll tell you a guy who's in there now we got to focus on for a moment. He's the wide receiver way out to the right. Number 26, Peter Marciano. Back to throw is Hartley. He hits Marciano at the 42-yard line.
Oh, did you call that play? You are psychic, my friend.
He is from Brockton, Mass.
Brockton, Mass.
And you know who else named Marciano was from Brockton, Mass.
That's right. The greatest heavyweight of them all. Rocky. Great catch by Marciano. He had the zone defense back there. Ran a little turn in. Good throw.
Another first down at the Iowa State 41.
Hey, Hartley looks pretty good at quarterback
he's
too,
moved the
you
team
know.
very well. Penalty flags drop as they line up. And we'll see what this is all about. The clock stops with 5:05 remaining. Procedure call against Iowa.
You know, some of those other people I was telling you about, you know, that we like to thank, of course, from Iowa, President James O. Friedman, and a great friend of mine, the athletic director here at Iowa, Bump Elliott, who was just a great host last night.
Illegal procedure. Still first down.
SID, George Wine, assistants Phil Hattie and Steve Malchow. And boy, they've just been great to us.
They have treated us well, as always, here in Iowa City. First down and 15 after the procedure penalty is marked off. Hartley back to throw. And this one is complete again to Kevin Ringer, who's bumped out of bounds at about the 42-yard line. A 4-yard gain. Hartley moving this club since coming in. And now Dan McGuire has checked into the game. The freshman from Claremont, California. Hartley went 5 out of 6 for 49 yards. McGuire makes his collegiate debut. He's back to throw on first down, and he'll never forget his first play in college.
You betcha.
Meet Brian Refner.
Brian Refner came from the blitz side, the blind side, and there's no possible way. There's no possible way that he could get it off. McGuire sacked in the backfield.
Dan McGuire, 6'8", 230 pounds, from Claremont, California. His brother, Mark McGuire.
He tackled him around the knees, and you know the funny thing, Brian Refner was standing up straight.
He was one of the most highly recruited quarterbacks in the nation. He and Jeff George ranked 1 and 2 in the country, depending on whose list you looked at.
Well, they got Travis Watkins from the same high school.
And McGuire is going to call timeout here.
Look at the size of this young man coming off. One of our future great stars.
His brother was an Olympic baseball player, now plays third base for the Oakland A's in the American League. So
good athletes, the whole family.
And the smiles. It is third down. 21 yards to go for the first down. McGuire with a straight drop. Looks downfield. Launching one long and incomplete. Intended for Travis Watkins, McGuire's high school teammate in Claremont, California.
He threw that 55 yards. Didn't even look like he was throwing it. What an arm on that guy, eh?
There are only 3 freshmen this year who have not been redshirted by Hayden Fry. McGuire's one of them. Watkins is one of them. And Brad Quast, who's made some tackles on special teams today, is one of them.
Well,
Gary
McGuire had his
Costabella.
man open, and he just overthrew by a few inches.
There's the punt by Costabella. Jeff Dole back at his own 11-yard line. Will not get too far, up to about the 15. Craig Clark, number 49, making the tackle. A 42-yard kick, a 7-yard return. And Iowa State gets the ball back with a little over 3 minutes to go. There's the Purdue banner flying high above Kinnick Stadium here. And next week, now that we've seen Dan McGuire, we'll have a look at that other freshman quarterback, Jeff George, as the Boilermakers play host to Pittsburgh. We'll have it for you beginning at 12:30 Central Time. Iowa State now beginning to use some different people. Curtis Warren, the running back that time, number 38. He gained about 2 yards and brought down by Brad Quast, that other freshman we were telling you about. He's from Des Plaines, Illinois. 6'2", 225 pounds.
He's a good linebacker. Hayden Fry is high on him.
A 2-yard gain, so it'll be 2nd down and 8. The time
Clock
beginning to run out.
Well, it's finally running out. I'll tell you what, I'm sure that the Cyclones are happy that it is running out, but because this Iowa team has just dominated Iowa State today in every respect.
The quarterback now is Brett Sadek, number 6, a junior out of Apple Valley, Minnesota, and a transfer from the University of Minnesota. He fires up the middle, incomplete at the 40-yard line. The intended receiver, Sylvester Nickerson, Mike Boland, back in the coverage for Iowa.
Oh, that was a good throw there. Perfect throw by Sadek. Just wasn't held on to.
Well, we mentioned about Dan McGuire that his brother is a Major League ball player. The quarterback, Brett Sadek, in there now for Iowa State, is the nephew of Mike Sadek, a longtime Major League catcher.
2:21 left.
3rd down, about 8. Sadek rolling right. Pass is incomplete, almost intercepted.
By Derek DeGennaro.
Mike Boland.
Where'd I get that?
Well, I tell you,
I might be looking at the Cyclones. I think I am.
It gets a little tough in the closing minutes of a game like this, because these are the games where everybody plays. It is 4th down. Rick Frank in to punt.
We get some good use out of these flip cards today, don't we?
Another good kick by Frank. And that is Peter Marciano again, getting the ball across the 40-yard line to the 41. Jeff Hansel making the tackle on Marciano. He was only 5'9", 165-pound sophomore. A 7-yard return after a 47-yard kick. And let's give credit where credit is due for Iowa State. Rick Frank has been called on all afternoon to get that ball out of there, and he has done that. He has punted very well.
That last one for 47 yards. That's a good kick.
Jim Kreiner cannot be pleased with what he's seen out there. There's a final, another upset. Tennessee being beat by Mississippi State. McGuire at quarterback. He drops back to throw on 1st down, and down he goes again. He lost the football, but Iowa recovers. That was Dave Murphy falling on the ball. Chris Moore delivered the hit.
Welcome to the Big Ten, Dan McGuire. Welcome to college football.
That's a 21-yard loss.
His stats aren't starting out too good, are they?
No, but everybody who's seen him play say you just wait.
Oh, yeah.
I thought the folks at Iowa weren't speaking to those people at UCLA anymore. It is 2nd down and 30. McGuire pitching out. The ball is loose, and Iowa State has it at the 21-yard line.
Wow, they can prevent a whitewash. They can.
Louisville, Indiana, scoreless early. And there you see just how Iowa has dominated this thing. Very equal distribution of their points. They have scored through the air. They have scored on the ground. They have scored with their kicker, Rob Houtland, who has added 2 field goals. Correction, 3 field goals. And with a score of 43-7, the Hawkeyes get the ball back one more time.
I think you're going to work on getting this one over, though.
Rick Frank about to kick it off for Iowa State. Iowa State next week will be playing at home against Indiana State, and then they have Wichita State at home, followed by Wyoming at home. And even though they've gotten trounced in this one, it's been a good experience for them to play a team as good as Iowa. And that'll help them as their season progresses. Robert Smith back awaiting the kick from Rick Frank.
Well, they're set up to try and prevent, you know, the onside kick. Iowa is. Only one man back. That's number 2, Robert Smith.
And Rick attempting to loop it over those front men. Instead, it's picked up by Smith at about the 22. He reverses direction and is brought down back at the 13-yard line. That was Tim Baker on the tackle.
Good hustle by Timmy Baker.
So now the Hawkeyes with 1:02 remaining. Let's see who they send out there this time. They've got George Davis out there on offense. Tom Pohalski becomes the new quarterback, the 4th quarterback of the day used by Iowa. He too has a baseball connection. His father, Tom Pohalski Sr., pitched in the major leagues for the Cardinals and the Cubs. So everybody getting a chance to play today for the Hawkeyes. Pohalski pitching out to Bayless. And Bayless brought down for, looked like a loss of about a yard. Don Edwards made the tackle.
-2 yards.
43 seconds remaining.
Just substitution after substitution going in for this Iowa Hawkeye team.
Devin Harberts is checked into the game as a wide receiver. He's a sophomore in Walnut, Iowa. They just made the announcement that Hayden Fry, with his victory, becomes Iowa's all-time winningest coach.
I asked him about that yesterday. He says, "Oh, I didn't even know that."
The ball carrier was Grant Goodman, a junior from Des Moines. Greg Leiter making the tackle. And that is probably going to be the last play of the game as time continues to tick off on the clock here. And now the celebration can officially begin here at Kinnick Stadium as Iowa, totally dominating this first game of theirs this season, has crushed Iowa State. The final score, Iowa 43, Iowa State 7. We'll be right back with a wrap-up. This is Super Football Saturday on Turner Network Television.